Nice. I'm waiting until I actually see it like pop up or something. I forgot. I'm going to actually have to post it on the Instagram, aren't I?
God, I'm sat like a quaver. Shocking posh to me.
Sat like a quaver, you know.
Proper curled up.
No, this is me sat up straight. It don't go any straighter than this.
I have to readjust all the time during the... my back's just finished anyway at the ripe age of 24.
You keep going through phases where you've got massive back problems, or you're completely fine.
No. Job done.
Yeah, true. Just lifting heavy stuff all the time.
Yeah, man. Well, you're a bodybuilder. Is it obvious?
Right then, boys. Nah, that stands a little charger thing. It's sick, that.
Is it charging your phone?
Yeah, my phone won't die halfway through.
Or?
Yeah. But anyway, let's get into stuff. Massive game, Simon. I can feel the nerves emanating from you.
Hate these games.
What's the score prediction from everyone? Brad, we'll start with you. Man United against Liverpool. What are you thinking?
Just on sheer form and out of both being this season. Just like what's required of Liverpool, I think 3-0, 3-1.
3-1 to Liverpool?
I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool, yeah.
Simon?
I think, like you say, I think we should win on form. I think we are so much better side than them, but these games you just never know. But I'm going to go, if we score first, I think we'll win. So I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool.
I'm just going to go against everybody. I'm going to go 3-2 to Moments FC.
Going for that Man United win. You see, I actually think it's going to be pretty close. I think because it's at Old Trafford as well, I'm going to go 2-2, you know. I'm not sure. Liverpool pretty much back to full force now after all the injuries.
Yeah, next week we've got Jota, Alisson and Trent back in training, so they'll probably be fit next weekend. So, but yeah, we're getting there. In a couple of weeks we'll have everyone back pretty much, I think.
It's a tight running towards the end of the season, isn't it? I think this is the closest I've seen it in a long while.
Oh, yeah.
Well, between three, obviously the other season when City won it on 97 points and Liverpool got 96. We had a few close ones.
Yeah.
But I just mean, it's a three-horse race. We've not really seen it like this for a while.
I can't remember, like 3 teams
It's just always just been either 2 or just City.
Yeah.
It's refreshing as well, though. Like, the most... Like, it's hyped up as the best league in the world, and yet the same team, City, seem to run away with it every season, so...
Yeah, it's weird. We were saying it before we went live. I think most people now are at the point where we actually want City to fall down because I just don't want to see him keep winning it every time. It's just going to get boring, as you said. It's going to turn into the French league a little bit. Best league in the world, but the same team can't win it every single season. Otherwise, it just becomes stale. But we're about to kick off. I've got a clip ready of you just calling Bruno Fernandes a rat.
I hate him. I just don't like him. Oh, man.
I love it as well, the bias in this room when it's 3 Leeds fans and a Liverpool fan watching Man United.
Brad's not going to like this, is it? Our mate Brad is a Man United fan. He's always screwing at us because he just says that we're going on him all the time, but we do, to be fair.
Is he from Leeds as well, is he?
Yeah,
of course.
Oh, I love that. But... should we jump into the first debate of today? Seeing as this is a massive game for Liverpool in trying to win the league, I thought we could go over and give our final top 5 Premier League predictions, because obviously we all mentioned it's really close in the top 3, but that 4th and 5th spot are pretty up for debate still as well. So I've actually gone through and I've got the fixtures for each Premier League team that's in with a chance of winning the title still. Because I think when I was looking into this, I was quite surprised by how difficult Arsenal's running is in comparison to the other teams. So for some context, Arsenal have got Villa at home, Wolves away, Chelsea at home, Spurs away, which obviously like their biggest rival, Bournemouth at home, Manchester United away, and Everton at home. Oh no!
Oh, yeah.
Offside.
Oh. Garnacho had the ball in the net, but
I don't know.
Didn't even know what happened, to be fair.
It looked offside like 5 minutes before. I just don't understand why they don't put the flag up straight away.
It's bad, isn't it, really?
Garnacho there, though. Yeah, players are just going to keep getting injured if they keep doing this, though. Yeah. I didn't even really see what happened. It is closer than I thought, but...
So just put the flag up. I don't understand why they just keep it going.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it till the ball's out of play? I don't understand.
Just let it reach a natural conclusion, though.
I suppose because that one was quite close, I understand it to a certain extent, but it's still a tough
The thing
one.
is, though, is what, if you're going to put your flag up, put it up. Like, he
Yeah,
knows he
yeah.
thinks he's offside, so there's no point in
Yeah, because
letting it run.
God, they've started quite brightly.
yeah, that's what we did.
Man United on the attack again.
Get off.
Horse.
Is that it straight away, isn't it?
Fernandez is down instantly.
Oh God, look at him.
Look at him. But yeah, so Arsenal have still got the big games that I would class for them. They've got Man United away, Spurs away, and Chelsea at home, as well as Villa at home. Actually, Villa aren't no mugs, but I suppose they're concentrating quite a lot on the European competition
Tough
still.
games, definitely.
But all of those are really tough games. So I could see them.
Go on, hit it, hit it.
One.
Oh,
save.
save. Oh,
Great save from Onana.
Right, save.
Didn't think I'd be saying that today.
No, I didn't.
It's actually a great reflex save, and it started brightly again. It could be
Yeah.
like the other week. This.
This has been more entertaining than the last match we did. What was it? Was it
City Arsenal.
City
wasn't it?
Arsenal?
Oh,
There's
yeah,
been
that's
more
horrible.
happening in this already.
In the first 2 minutes.
first 2 minutes, yeah.
Literally.
That was such a bad game to watch, your City Arsenal.
Oh man.
Oh, it was so boring.
I forgot
wasn't
there
it?
were a game on when we were sat in here doing this because we were just genuinely talking and there were nothing like worthy of us even turning us heads to TV.
I feel like I actually need to keep an eye on this.
It started really brightly, man.
And Anna keeps going through like patches of horrible form, and then he'll
Pass.
do all right for a game or two and just go back to being awful.
So I think he'll have a good game, but he's got that like that target on him now. Like, it makes one mistake and that's it. He's all over me
Oh, yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like there's not much he can do to actually win in this scenario, is there?
He's got a clanger in him, though, hasn't he?
He does, yeah.
That's
I
like
wouldn't.
He's playing a testimonial sometimes, isn't he?
I wouldn't particularly want him. I'd rather have Mez, I swear. Would you not? Yeah, you don't like Mez really, though, do you?
It's not like I don't like him.
So you're asking wrong question after yesterday's like first goal as well, cause
Do you know what? I've not seen anything from yesterday.
have you not?
No, I want.
Did you not watch it? No.
No, I've been too busy.
Didn't
I've
miss
not
a whole
seen
much,
it.
mate. It was just, I don't know. I've got a love-hate relationship with Mesley. I don't want to give him too much shit, but I still think he's one of them keepers that fills you with confidence, that commands his area. Do you know what I mean? He's a good shot stopper. Don't get me wrong.
he's not.
fantastic.
He's not. If you go up, he's not a Premier League goalkeeper, is he? I don't think.
I don't know. You know, I think he was really unlucky when we were in the Premier League because we had such a poor defence
That
in
was
front of
probably
him.
one of the worst
So-
defences the Premier League have ever seen.
He's never going to do well when he's got them absolute demons in front of him.
Love that. It's getting feisty.
Yeah,
isn't
this
it?
is-
Bradley, that was.
It's been a great first couple of minutes. I feel like I want to go back to the debate, but
He's he's
is that
taking that well.
Wan-Bissaka?
He's gonna have a nosebleed.
Didn't know what to do.
Not Wan-Bissaka jumping through.
Is he playing left back?
I think he is. Yeah.
Because they've got Dallo at right back. It's just a makeshift defence every game that they've got.
Anthony with it. Oh, is that Delors?
Fucking hell.
That would Dallas, yeah.
Yeah. You see Anthony's pass the other day, that outside
Yeah.
the boot. Whoa, that's the best thing I've ever seen
It's
him
the best
do.
thing he's done in a United shirt.
Darwin Núñez running at Harry Maguire.
Oh.
Núñez
Referee.
Oh, that's a
Get the
joke.
cards out. Oh, bless him. Speaking of clangers, he's got 1 or 2 in him as well. Good player.
Núñez, I like Núñez, mate. I know he does miss a couple of easy chances.
Yeah, he's just nuts. I mean, like I say, he can miss an absolute sitter or just fall over for no reason, but then he could just get a hat trick as well. Do you know what I mean? He's just one of those players.
And he pings one in every now and then. Was it against Fulham away where he scored an absolute worldie?
Bournemouth.
Yeah,
Bournemouth. Yeah,
Might have been
Bournemouth. Yeah.
I was just thinking of crap.
Oh no,
small
he's a good
ground.
player, and he fits into what we're doing. So can't go wrong with that, to be honest. So
Oh, happy days.
But Premier League predictions.
Back to it, yeah.
Back to
Squeeze
it.
it in before.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, we'll just keep talking about this. Oh my god.
That looks a bit more promising to start off, isn't it?
I'll just clip it together really poorly, but you know that's what you got to do sometimes. Anyway, lads, let's just kind of get into it, right? I think we should start with 5th because you know you want to build the tension a little bit. Who have you got 5th in the Premier League at the end of this season?
Villa.
I went for Spurs.
Spurs at 5th.
I think I could see Spurs creeping into 4th, but I've still got 2 games in hand.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's the 2 games in hand that doing it for me.
I completely agree. So I think Spurs aren't in Europe as well, are they? They've got no European games. Villa still do at the minute. And then obviously 2 games in hand. Spurs are only 3 points behind at the minute with 2 games in hand and no Europe. I really hope, to be honest, that Villa manage to get top 4 because it'd be nice to see them in the Champions League, but I just don't think that they'll be able to hold on. Because you already seen against Manchester City the other day, they were playing a bit of a weakened side because they wanted to concentrate on Europe. I know it's Man City and they probably would have lost no matter what, but the fact that you're having to resort to those tactics already when there's still, 7 or 8 games left, it doesn't look too
Kind of
good.
looks like they're running out of steam a bit, doesn't it? But
Although I do think the job that Emery's done there can't be understated.
No, absolutely not.
He's smashed it for Villa, and I think going into next season, obviously they have money, so they'll probably spend some more and a couple more additions to that squad, and I think there'll be serious challengers for top 4 again, if not just guaranteed in there all season.
I mean, the defence, the goals they scored, they conceded yesterday, was it 3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Some of the defending for those goals was shocking, so they need to get centre-back position sorted, I think. I know Mings is out, but again, I don't think he's a top centre-half. So
yeah, I'm not a huge Mings fan.
No, he's got a mistake in him, hasn't
I
he?
think that Pau Torres is really good at Villa, but I don't know too much. Is it that Diego Carlos or something is the other one?
I don't really know the names, but I was watching Match of the Day last night and they made proper clangers for the goals.
Yeah, I watched it this morning.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Positioning,
Any kind of team that wants to be in the top half of the top 5, needs strength in depth, really, if you want to go for the full season, especially if you're going to be playing European games as well.
That's why it's hitting them a bit in league as well. Like you mentioned, wanting to focus on Europe, and they just haven't got that kind of depth. Similar to Newcastle, but they've been plagued with injuries. But like you just touched on, you need that almost 2 teams to rotate between.
Yeah, look at City, they've got about 3 or 4, haven't they?
Yeah,
City have got half the
that
fucking.
both win league.
Yeah. Which is mental, really.
It's wild because at the start of the season, I would have predicted Newcastle to be in there, but obviously they've dropped off massively from that point.
They've been fucked with injuries as well this season. But then again, every team has that problem, don't they? But it just depends how you can deal with it.
So, Simon, you're still going for Villa in 4th?
Yeah, I suppose it could be a toss of a coin, but I just think Villa might hold out.
Well, I hope so, but let's move on to the top 3, and this is the hardest to predict because it's so close at the minute. It's practically impossible to pick who's going to finish where. But who do we have 3rd, boys? Brad, we'll start with you.
I think because Arsenal have got such a tough run of fixtures, I still always have this thing within me, I don't know what Arsenal's gonna turn up. You know, you look at the other race with City that they had, and we're dropping points like Southampton and stuff like that. But I think, albeit they're up there at the minute, I can see them dropping off just purely because of the fixtures they've got.
Hard games.
So yeah, I think their run of games is what will be their downfall. Because obviously they've got the Champions League as well.
I think that's a big thing, Champions League. And for City as well, I think if they both get through, they play each other in the semis, don't they?
Yeah.
So that could be a massive thing, but
That'd be great.
I think I've got Arsenal finishing in 3rd, yeah.
Arsenal in 3rd. Simon, what are you thinking?
Well, it's weird, because if we beat United today, I think we can go on and win it. So therefore, City or Arsenal. But I just think it's a toss of a coin. I'd go for City in 3rd then, because Arsenal just look like they're going to win every game at the moment. They don't look like they're giving anything away.
That's the thing with me as well. I don't really know which way to go, because City at the minute, albeit they're getting the job done purely based on how much talent they've got, they're still conceding
I
think more than you'd expect them to.
I think for City and Liverpool, it's more of a struggle at the moment. It seems getting the wins, but for Arsenal, they're just steamrolling everyone at the moment.
Through games, aren't they?
Yesterday what most impressed I've been in ages.
Yeah,
by
I thought they'd
Brighton.
slip up there, or
They just
maybe at
look
least get a draw.
Routine and just at ease.
Absolutely.
It was same other day as well, wasn't it? Midweek when they had a fixture, it was just there was no stress about it at all. They're just walking past teams. Ellis, who have you got in 3rd?
I've got Arsenal, to be fair. It's just they've been playing brilliantly. It's just the fixtures that have put them there. That's a good hit. Just purely the fixtures that they've got. That's why I've got them there. City, bags of talent. They might not be at the best at the moment, but they'll still win games. I'd like to see Arsenal probably finish above City, but I can't see it.
Yeah, it's weird. I've gone, well, not particularly completely the opposite way, but I've actually got City in 3rd.
Right.
Because I think, as you said, it's looked like they've struggled a little bit more recently. and with the Champions League, it's weird. I have this thing in my head, because City have done it so well for the last few years, I still think that they're somehow just going to pull it out the bag and end up winning the league again. Yeah. But at the same time, if I actually take into account the rest of the season, Arsenal have been strong all year. They're still in Europe as well, which I know it's an extra game, but it only breeds confidence if you're still in every competition.
Winning's a habit, innit?
Yeah. Exactly. And I can just see them continuing on that form. So I've got City in 3rd, because obviously their running of fixtures is slightly harder than Liverpool's as well. Or it can be classed as that. They're all Liverpool and City are more similar, but yeah, let's move on to second.
Prodigy John.
If Liverpool win Europa League, would fifth place get in Champions League?
That's a good point.
Yeah,
it's something to do with
The amount of
coefficient and all that. I think because West Ham are doing well as well. So I think it was it Spain or Italy that held that position, whatever it is. But I think as the next rounds have gone on, something like that. So I think we're just behind them. So yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a possibility then.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be good.
That'd be interesting if Villa finished fifth and ended up getting it.
Well, I always want to see more English teams in European competitions anyway. Like bar Man United, I'd always probably want the English team to win it. Maybe Chelsea as well. I won't particularly want to see Chelsea do well.
Chelsea.
But like if it's Arsenal or Liverpool or even City, I'd probably want them to win the Champions League over Madrid or Barcelona.
Yeah, I'm just a proper gammon, mate.
Go on.
Darwin
Square it,
Núñez is
square it.
through. Oh,
To square it, ain't it?
it is a Liverpool corner though. Núñez has had a couple of half opportunities already, hasn't he? We had that one a bit ago where he was running at Maguire and decked it.
Surprised he hadn't took a touch there and just tried running.
Well,
it
he could have just played it off to Salah. Salah was wide
I
open.
just think he got caught in not even two minds. He got caught in a few there. He wasn't quite sure what he was going to do.
Dallow's done quite well there, though.
Yeah.
Even just to keep up with Núñez. But see if Liverpool do anything from this corner.
Big Van Dijk.
Oh,
I hate short corners.
me too. I can't see
Just
what's
can't stand
happening.
them.
I don't for Leeds because we never fucking beat the first man. When we
I couldn't believe that he's in a 95th minute corner and it's first man.
It's just typical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, it's not on that, is it?
Just, how long? When was the last time you felt like we were threatening from a set piece?
2007. When we had Kisnarbo.
Kisnarbo with bandage.
No, to be fair, the last time Leeds were good at set pieces was that Janssen era, wasn't it?
Yeah,
when we had Janssen and Bartley, we actually looked quite good. But since then, it's impossible. Liam Cooper's got a 50p head. Even if he ever won a header from a corner, he'd never do out with it.
Yeah, I think when I've seen Rodon win a few over the season, it's just gone fucking flying. Like
Struick had a couple, didn't he, before he got injured?
Yeah, we went through a phase where like Rutter gets on a few as well, but they always just sail over.
he just proper gets under him, doesn't he? Like, doesn't try to head it down. It's it bounce off his head. Flying.
But we got away from the debate. Second, who have we got?
I think I'm basing mine on if Liverpool win today. I think if Liverpool win today, City will finish second. Not because I can see them dropping points. It's just that I don't see who's going to beat Liverpool after Man United today.
Yeah,
But
true.
I don't see anyone like in that run of games that is going to really cause them massive issues. You could say Everton based on the fact that they're fighting to stay up themselves, and it's a Merseyside derby, but still, like you look at the way like
Yeah, I was going to say, although Liverpool do still have Villa and Spurs to
Yeah,
play.
we've got.
Spurs
I
got
think we've got
everyone?
3 away games in a row. I think it's Fulham, West Ham, and then Villa. I think.
Yeah,
all in the
it's
space of a
Fulham,
week.
Fulham, Everton, then West Ham
Yeah,
all
so
away.
that's tricky at best. West Ham is always a tricky place to go to in it. So
I'd still rather
we were
them than
saying just
Arsenal's.
before, we saw, won't we, that like it's either Villa or Tottenham who have really caused a threat. But I think you play like 3 or 4 times after today before you play those 2 as well. So
Something like- yeah,
if
something
you
like
get
that.
those
We've got
results
Palace
behind you,
next.
like the form going into
yeah, I just think if we win this game, I think the confidence it'll give us, and I think we can just kick on. So that's what I mean. All kind of hinges on this game, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think that a win at Old Trafford for Liverpool should breed that much confidence that you should be practically unstoppable unless there's like a bit of a freak result if you lose in one of the next couple. Second, Ellis, who have you got?
I've got City second. Even if I do see Liverpool winning today, but I fancy them for it this year. City not at the best. I fancy Liverpool, and I hope it is anybody but City. And I do think it'll be Liverpool. Their run of games is better than Arsenal's. I'm not quite sure what City's running's like, but we know what City are like. They'll just pick up a load of points. So Liverpool just need to keep playing how they've been playing.
Yeah, I agree. I've got Arsenal in second. So I'm also going for Liverpool to actually pick up the league this year. And as you said, I hope it is them or Arsenal. But I just think for me, Liverpool, because they're also not in the Champions League. I know they're still in the Europa League, but the level of that fixture shouldn't be as difficult.
Yeah.
But do you think that we're all maybe playing that down a little bit? Because obviously we mentioned Arsenal are still in Europe. It's more likely that Liverpool will actually progress further, and they've already had some injury issues. So do you not think that could be something that creeps back in if you do get to the final of the Europa League?
I don't know. I think with the injured players coming back, I think they'll be fresher, and I think they'll want to play as well. They'll want to contribute. You know, getting us to the final, getting us to win the league. So I think it's going to make a massive difference for us, I think. But then saying that, the players that have come in, they don't deserve to be dropped. Quite frankly,
true.
do you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a great position to be in, you know, when we do get them back. But just Klopp, I suppose he's got to rotate, you know, how he sees fit, you know, what the best thing to do each game, really. So, but.
Yeah, I agree. I think those young lads that have come in have done really well, haven't they? So dropping them is a little bit tough, but I suppose if you think it's going to have a massive positive impact for the rest of the season.
I mean, you'd like to say Alisson coming back in because obviously he's one of the best in the world, but Keller, he's been brilliant.
He really has.
He's been amazing these last few months, and so much so that we've not really missed Alisson at all. Like we couldn't really say that Alisson could have saved this, that, or the other.
It's the biggest compliment you could give Keller. Really,
Brilliant.
he's not even noticed it's been an issue.
And same with Bradley as well. I think even Trent is, world class, all that kind of thing, but Bradley, he's just as good going forward, I think, probably. But he's a bit more like Robertson, so I think defensively he's better. So I kind of think we're more balanced as a side when Bradley plays than Trent does. So
whenever I've watched Bradley, he's looked really good.
He's brilliant.
I think
that going into them sort of like going into those like last sort of stages of games, like you've got Trent who's played a Champions League final, Alisson who's played a Champions League final, played in World Cups and stuff. I think when you're playing like the last 3-4 games of the season,
experience
like,
they've done
win,
it.
Like they're sort of players you want to be calling.
Yeah, they will come back in for the experience, definitely. Yeah.
Well, one thing we haven't mentioned though. Wait, did anyone have City to win? Who was your pick to win the league in the end?
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool. That's mad. So the whole table thinks Liverpool's going to win it. But this is City's running for the end of the season.
Here we go.
So they've got Luton, Brighton, Forest, Wolves, Fulham and West Ham.
Right, yeah, City winning it.
So that's the game.
They've got Spurs to play as well.
Have they?
But that's not been put in the fixture yet, has it?
Right.
And they've always struggled against
Is it at
Spurs
Spurs
as well.
ground as well?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
They haven't scored there yet, I don't think. Pep always goes on about it.
Add Spurs away in there though, but you would expect Manchester City, realistically, are quite probable to win all of those games.
You could say that about all three teams, to be honest, the way they're all playing.
I don't know. I feel like when I see Arsenal away at Tottenham, I don't think that it's a guaranteed win.
They're unreal at the moment.
I know, but it's the North London derby. I'm not saying
anything can happen, I suppose. Yeah,
I think they probably will, but I don't think it's like, they're
win.
definitely going to win it.
Good lad.
Who was this young lad who was playing at back for Liverpool today?
Kwanzaa. Yeah, he's been another one who's been brilliant this year.
He's made a right solid start.
He's really good as well. He's really good.
Especially when it's on Bruno. It's him.
Do you know what? I never really hear much about Wan-Bissaka anymore. I feel like he's been just consistently okay for a little while now, so people don't give him as much hate.
He's a good defender. He's good. He's just a good, solid right back.
He just seems a bit clumsy sometimes, but I suppose you get that with most footballers, don't you?
He's a bit. He's hard to keep fit, I think.
He
does have problems with injuries, but he's definitely a great defender. He's massive. Got a right challenge on him.
Liverpool looks quite promising here. Robertson running up.
Oh,
Takes a horrible shot. I don't know why he shot there, to be honest. I suppose you don't mind, but Andy Robertson from edge at box had never filled me with too much confidence.
Tell you what, the ball, it was him that put that ball in.
For Gakpo. Yeah, brilliant. We've missed Robertson as well down that left hand. I know Gomez again. He's been brilliant as well for us, but
absolute peach of a ball.
Yeah, Robertson's quality.
Do you think Andy Robertson's one of the best signings in terms of how much you got him for? What was it, like something like 5 million?
8 million or something like that. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
Absolutely ridiculous. And he has. I mean, I think he's been the best left back in the league since he's joined the club. Quite frankly, I know what Cancelo did well at City, didn't he? But
I was going to say he's probably been the best left back over the course of a few seasons since Ashley Cole, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I can't think of anyone else in that period of time. Can you, Ellis, any other left backs who have been like for 4 or 5 seasons top of the game?
Not the same. Not on the same level as he is now.
I feel like there's an abundance of right backs. Like you had Zabaleta was good for years, Walker's been good for years, Trent's been pretty solid. Whereas left backs a little bit more tough.
What is that? Well, how long is Coleman still at Everton?
I think he might be, but
he's still
They didn't even pay $1 million for him, did they? I think like
it's 500. He's a right back, yeah, but yeah.
Best value for money.
Oh yeah, he's quality, yeah.
500k is mental.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Leicester sign Maguire from Hull at the same time as
something
Robertson
like that?
went to?
Yeah, I think it's when they got relegated. Hull, isn't it?
Liverpool have been good this game, though. They've been attacking a
better.
fair bit. Man United had a good first couple of minutes, but from that point, it's been mainly Liverpool who get another corner. Damn. Well, I think we should chat a little bit about the Championship. We've just predicted who's going to win the Premier League. So I wanted to know, not long left in the Championship now, and the race for promotion there for automatic places is just as close as it is for the race for the Premier League title. So I wanted to know, who do you think is going to get promoted automatically and through the playoffs? Brad, we'll start with you.
I think I've had enough. I've had enough of predicting. You know, it changes week on week that much. Like, you looked at it when we caught Leicester up and then they were third.
Go on.
Yeah. Liverpool.
Oh, 1-0.
Oh,
1-0 to Liverpool.
Love Diaz.
twat at the back of my head then. But it was worth it.
On Thor's chair.
Luis Diaz, my most overrated player in the Premier League. Scoring.
I know what you mean, but I do know what you mean by that, but he's still quality.
1-0, Simon.
Yeah. Big goal.
But we needed the first goal because hopefully it'll just deflate the whole crowd.
Yeah, I mean, the form that Manchester United have been in recently as well, the crowd's going to really start to get on the back.
Oh, Nunez. Oh,
Good
lovely.
play.
We've got to come out and play a bit more now as well. So.
To be honest, that is actually a fantastic finish.
Very good goal.
So I will not complain at that at all.
Nobody with him.
Nunez with a nice flick on though there. If he didn't
That's what I
get
mean.
that flick on-
He sometimes gets laughed at by rival fans because he misses sitters or falls over, but he is a really good player, and I think he just fits what Klopp wants in a forward as well. So.
I don't know if anyone does that. Like, I think at the start of the season, people were laughing at him, but at this point, I think most people appreciate that he is a good player.
Well, he's got 30 probably 31 now goal contributions this season, so that's pretty
that's
good.
an assist, isn't
Pretty
it?
good,
So.
yeah. So
Can't argue with that.
no,
can
you can't.
I actually did have a question. Obviously, we mentioned Man United's recent form there. Ten Hag in an interview the other day said that there is no doubt that he will still be the Manchester United manager next season.
I hope so.
From, I mean, I hope he is as well because they'll continue failing. But from like a less biased point of view, do you think he's actually done anything to earn another season at Manchester United?
I don't know, not this season because you'd expect them to kick on or at least qualify for Champions League.
Turning
but-
into a cup team, aren't they? Because there might be in another FA Cup final, and they got to Carabao Cup final last year, won it. Got to the FA Cup final, got beat by City, and if we get to another FA Cup final, you could look at it and think, well, it's not that bad. But as Manchester United, they want to do better in the league.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like if anything's gonna keep him in a job, it'll be if he's on that same sort of trajectory as Arteta was. You know, like he came in, won an FA Cup. If he wins another wins an FA Cup with him this season, it kind of keeps him in a job. But I don't see. Like, and this has been touched on by so many pundits and stuff, I don't actually see what their strategy is. You know, from boardroom to pitch, like, they're not the same sort of project as Arsenal were.
No.
Like, they were a full project from top to bottom, whereas these go just chuck 300k a week at someone and hope for them to kick
See
on.
what happens.
Yeah,
But
so
I think my thought is when I look at it, obviously Sir Jim Ratcliffe has now got a majority stake in the club, or at least to the point where he can
25%,
control. Yeah, but he can control decisions, can't he? So it's like the footballing decisions are now up to him. So if I was a Manchester United fan, I'd be thinking, all right, well, Ten Hag's obviously had a fair few chances now, and he's spent quite a lot of money. Do we trust him to continue investing with this new ownership? Because if you look at the players that he's brought in, you've got Sancho, who's done nothing, or was he there just before him?
What,
Sancho.
Ten Hag?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he was there because we were there with.
Was he there under Ole?
I think so. Cause
I can't remember. I know because that's transfer saga like just dragged on, didn't it?
yeah,
So
he was
like-
there. He was there with Solskjaer. Were there. I remember
Anyway.
him
Yeah, I'm
playing
sure
at Ellen
he
Road.
was. Yeah.
Right, well,
when Ronaldo.
I'm wrong with that one, but the management of him was still pretty awful from Ten Hag, and you've seen he's gone back to Dortmund and done relatively okay. But then Anthony is up there with one of the worst Premier League signings in history.
And he was a Ten Hag player at Ajax,
Yeah, he
wasn't
was.
So,
That's why they got him,
yeah.
and they paid, I think it was like 85, 90 million for him in the end,
Had the pants down.
85.
which is an absolute mockery from Ajax. Like, there's no way that it should have been that much. And then you also have Martinez at centre back, who looked okay at first.
Decent player.
I think he's been found out a little bit now, though, and he just gets injured every 3 games. He literally plays 3 games and then he's out for 4 months.
He does seem to be out more than you see him play.
Yeah, definitely.
He is a good centre back, to be fair.
Yeah, I
But
think he is.
Did he-
You just don't see him enough.
Did he win the World Cup with Argentina, or was he injured? Is he Argentinian?
Yeah, I think he was there.
Did he win it with
Yeah.
them? Yeah, yeah.
So he's not. I don't think Martinez is awful. I just think that he's not a top level centre back. And then Onana's another signing, a Ten Hag signing. Like, what are you thinking there? Onana's been this season one of the most. Manchester United put it across the box, and are real close to making this one all.
Casemiro, he's always up and about, Fred, isn't he?
Nope.
John Horsworth said, "Is there any possibility Leicester will get a points deduction this season?"
Not this season, no.
Joshua Pye says, "Hi, Brad. Great to see you getting some coverage."
All right, bud.
But is there any chance Leicester get a points deduction this season?
It's not, it won't be this season.
No, 'cause
It'll
it's a
be
Premier League
one,
matter,
yeah.
innit? So if they go up, they get slapped with one then.
But I do also want to say that is a fucking joke, because
We've been done. By
we've
all this,
been
haven't we?
we've been done, because Leicester would have been. Would they have been below us when we got relegated if they had a points deduction in the season?
Yeah, well, look at Forest and Everton as well. They were the teams that were flirting with relegation and around us, and they've been given points deductions this season, when realistically last season we probably stayed up. I mean, at the end of the day, with everything that happened, we got to get rid of the deadwoods. I mean, hopefully, if we go up this season, I won't be that angry with it. So we've managed to kind of like reshape in it, but.
I do think that there needs to be a much quicker process for looking into these financial fair play problems, because at the minute it's like teams know they can just do it, and if it keeps them up, who cares if you get a £30 million fine, or even if you get deducted 4 points when you've got a whole new squad? Does it really matter at that point? Like you probably have confidence in the fact if you've signed that many players, you'll be in a much better position anyway, so it can take a punishment like that. And I think in the seasons in which it happens, it's affecting teams too much now.
Yeah, massively. I think the worst part of it for me is the fact that we're spending money on players that are effectively contributing in games that are sending you down, but then they're looking at it after. There needs to be some sort of cap in the season.
I don't know if it's whether the rules can be made simpler for the people that are actually looking into it. If there's too many different ways you've got to investigate it and make sure they didn't do this, and clubs are just finding loopholes to make things last longer, so then it doesn't really matter so much. I think maybe the rules need to be simplified a little bit, but whatever it is, I don't think it can carry on as it is. Nunes in the box for Liverpool.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well
played, fair play to him.
Oh no, it's happening.
He's that young French lad, yeah.
Fancies
He
it.
loves it, yeah.
He's up for it.
You want to see that as a Man United fan, wouldn't you, really? I mean, he's fucked up. He's going to want ball back, showing a little bit of
I
passion.
can't recall
Gino.
anyone in their 11 giving it a bit of passion.
Yeah, there you go. Look at fucking the clips going around the Rashford from Chelsea game.
Oh, Rashford
There's
doesn't
so many
care.
though. That's not the first
It's
time.
not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not.
And it's a case of what's he on, 300 grand a week?
Somewhat ridiculous, yeah.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Well, we was having an argument in the Derby Days group chat the other day, and I was saying how I don't think Rashford is even top 10 left wingers in the world right now, and we already
Probably
had
not
that.
right now because his form's terrible at the
Yeah,
moment.
but I do think if he went to a different club, he'd do much better.
yeah.
I agree.
I think there's a player in there. I think because what is he now, like 26, 27? So he's not young anymore, is he? So people say, oh, he's going to kick on. But I just think if he played under like a Klopp or maybe a Guardiola, they'll get the best out of him, I think.
In a better
I think
environment.
anywhere in Europe that plays some sort of like front three, like a PSG or something. I know they're playing like a bit of a league that's laughed at and stuff, but he's the sort of player you'd want in your side on like a Champions League night.
Well, I always look at Barcelona and think them because they have João Felix up there playing on the left a lot of the time, or Fernan Torres. And I think Rashford in the Spanish league with the pace he's got to do really well. And I do think as an out-and-out left winger, whenever I've seen João Felix, he's not seemed to get up to much. I've not really rated him.
I know what you mean.
Like he's still goes to all these massive clubs and never performs particularly amazingly, and then continues. And I don't know what clubs keep seeing in him, but I think if Rashford was to go to one of those clubs, he'd have a much better chance of actually doing
I'd
more.
like to see him do it. More English players need to. If they get stuck in a bit of a rut like Rashford is, go to Europe, like you can.
Give him like a Bayern Munich or something
Yeah.
like that. That'd be, But the thing is, though, because like you say, he's on $350 a week. No one can afford him now.
That's
can
what I
they?
mean. That's the problem with the
Apart from
English
PSG.
league. Do you know what I mean? The money's just ridiculous in comparison to the other top leagues. And obviously, you've got
It's a
your big
shame
clubs
as
like
well
PSG.
because I'd like to I want just one player anywhere in world football to take like that 50% dramatic wage cut just to go and play better football.
Yeah.
you
That'd
know,
be
and,
refreshing,
like,
that wouldn't it?
Yeah, make a statement rather than like what rotting at Man. I know it's his boy club and stuff, but rotting away at Man United, winning nothing, being disrespected because of the effort you put in. It's just it's like just a sour scenario all round.
Yeah, should get himself out of it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we've spoke about it a few times on here about English players that do go abroad and do quite well. And I mean, I know that they're in pretty poor form and aren't particularly doing well, but look at Eric Dyer. He was 5th choice centre-back at Tottenham, and now he's starting every week at Bayern Munich.
Bayern are shocking though, aren't
Yeah, Bayern are shocking at the minute, but the point more being, you thought he was done, and now, after getting in that squad, he'll probably be able to come back to the Premier League and actually play somewhere, or just get a move over there and play somewhere, because he's only 30. I thought he was way older.
He looks it because he's so slow, doesn't he? He can't run to save his life, but he always looks
treacle in it.
But that doesn't particularly make him a bad player. Like, I
he's good. He's kind of, although he's English, he's kind of like a European English player because I think he played at Sporting, It's like when he was younger, so he's kind of got that European mentality, hasn't he? So he's a decent player, but he's got no pace, has he? So
yeah, it kind of reminds me of Mertesacker, but he was actually quite good at Arsenal, to be fair.
What about 32 pace on FIFA? Do you remember that?
Just like 4 steps ahead of everyone else. That's
I used to quite like Mertesacker when he was at Arsenal. They did well overall. But we got completely distracted from the championship predictions.
I forgot about that, mate.
I didn't try to keep us off that topic.
I'll jump in first with this one because I think I'm spot on with what's going to happen here. And it is going to be Leicester will win the league.
good save.
And Anna made that look more acrobatic than I think it needed to be.
What cameras?
Yeah, but I think Leicester will win the league. Obviously, I think they've had their run of bad form now, and they'll just click back into being really good. And they have for the last couple of games. I know it was a close one yesterday, but they've started winning again, and I think that they'll just continue that till the end of the season.
Yeah, fair.
And I do think it'll be Leeds that finish second. Ipswich obviously dropped points yesterday, the same as we did. I just have it in my head. I've thought it all season that it can't be Ipswich who get it automatically. And maybe I'm wrong at this point because obviously they're still in there now. But I just have a feeling that Leeds are going to manage to creep in there because we do have a better squad. And Ipswich...
What's it doing?
Ipswich, as well as they've been doing, I do think in the last 10 games, a lot of their wins have been like last minute. And
Can't keep happening.
It can't keep happening, and they are conceding a lot of goals as well. Like they've conceded more than 2 a couple times this season, whereas Leeds haven't. Our defence has been quite good. So I think in this run-in where the pressure's on, and a lot of teams you're playing are still fighting relegation or fighting to get in the playoffs. I mean, we saw it yesterday at Coventry away.
They've got Coventry and Hull as well, haven't they?
Exactly. I think that if they keep conceding to that level, other teams will just start shutting up shop. Like if they know they just need 3 points and they're going to get in playoffs, they're going to shut up shop. They'll score 1 or 2.
Go on.
It's a right effort.
Dunez with a shot.
Did Ipswich, they got promoted last? That's amazing. That
It is.
to do what they're doing now.
You don't see it like
That's incredible.
Back to back to Premier League anyway.
No, it's very rare.
I could talk purely on my own, like for 30 minutes about this, but I think Ipswich, Leicester will finish third. I think it'll be us in Ipswich, and I can see Ipswich winning league purely because Ipswich, no matter what, like they either blow a team away or they've just got that raw desire in them to pick up 3 points, and they just seem to get them out of absolutely nowhere. Like some of their goals, like we've called them lucky all season, but it comes from because they just pepper the goal. They'll have shots and shots, and they get those lucky rebounds to knock home.
Make your own luck, I guess, don't you?
Absolutely, and I think we'll finish second based on the fact that I can see Leicester dropping a few more points just based on the fact that like when they go behind, they're starting to have that bit of like lull where you feel like there's a chance here, and I think they feel that as well. I think they're feeling the pressure a little bit because they've been so far ahead all season, and now they've been dragged back into it.
Yeah,
and they just seem to struggle when they do go a goal when they go a goal behind.
I've got the same top 2 as you then.
I think if we don't finish in the top 2, it'll be purely on our own downfall and just through a few basic stuff that we've seen through all season. You know, things like being 1-0 down and then we'll make 75 changes in 85th minute. You know, just chuck a load of attackers on. That seems to be our sort of strategy, and at times it has worked. But I think, you know, like I mentioned with Ipswich having, just got desire as a team to get results. We've got that, you know. I think obviously Leicester have got it as well, but we've got players who've got that little bit of individual brilliance in like Nonto and Somerville who can just grab a game back.
Yeah, Rutter as well.
Do something out of nothing, yeah.
So I think, I can't see us winning the league. I'd be very shocked if we did. And that's as unbiased as I'm ever going to be. But yeah, I think it'll be Ipswich first, us second, and Leicester third.
Do you know what? For me personally, that'd be an ideal scenario.
I like the sound of that. I'd love for us in Ipswich to go up. It'd just be fantastic to see him promoted in back-to-back seasons. Like you said, when do you ever see that? And it's just a shame that we're going kind of neck and neck with him, because if we wasn't, then I'd be rooting for him, every step of the way. But because we're obviously involved, I was cheering when they dropped points yesterday, and then look what happened, and it kind of came.
It always bites you.
It always does, isn't it?
Yeah, you are completely right though. If we weren't in that battle with them, I would 110% be backing Ipswich to go up.
Definitely.
And to be honest, I still am. I hope that they go up over Leicester, but I just have a feeling that it's going to end up being Leicester, and then they'll probably go up next season and get points docked. Which is then, if you're an Ipswich fan or a Leeds fan, if we miss out on it, it's going to be really offensive, because they broke the rules then, and it's just fine. Nothing happened in the season in which you were investigating it. But onto the playoffs. There's a few teams that could still get in the playoffs. Who do you have winning that competition? I think it's so hard because the playoffs, there's so much pressure on it. It's not always just the best team that wins. You've got like Hull look like they might get in, Coventry, West Brom, Southampton, whoever misses out between us, Leicester and Ipswich.
Yeah, I think the scary thing for us is if we do drop into playoffs, it's all teams that we've not beat or really struggled against.
Yeah.
So that'd be my biggest worry. But no, I feel like you can't really go on forming the strongest sort of team in the playoffs. I really do think it's a bit of a lottery, and who fancies it on that occasion more.
I think you say Southampton are in there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because I don't really know, not really seen the other teams play, but when they played us at Anfield, even though we still beat them, they were brilliant. That's just the way they played football was brilliant.
They are quite good, Southampton, but sometimes they do a little bit worse against better teams.
Yeah.
Well, because they got picked off in the end, so that's what they kind of need to rein it in, don't they? But just their approach play and how they played the game was really refreshing.
I just think in crunch time they struggle because they've got an overly emotional manager that just gets sucked into it.
He's young as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
So
Russell
it
Martin
reminds me
is
of Lampard a little bit in a way. Just like you mentioned, just because of that emotional sort of aspect.
very reactionary.
I wish we could
what
have
we
played.
need.
I wish like our second game against them had been and gone. Been so much earlier in the season, just to give us like a kind of feel of to like where we are around the us, Leicester and Southampton sort of mark.
Well, I feel like Southampton looked like they were out of the picture for the top two, and then everyone dropped points yesterday, bar Leicester. So then
Still
it's like,
out of it.
do you think they're still out of it though? If they beat us at
100%.
home, that's effectively a 6-point swing on last day.
Do they?
They're out
So
of it.
who
We've
else
got to
needs to
play-
play each other? Do you still need to play like Ipswich or?
No, the
Just
only
Southampton,
team in the top
Leicester.
bit that we really have to play still is Southampton at home on
They
the
play
last day.
Leicester as
They-
well.
On the last day as well,
they've
Their
got
game in
Leicester.
hand, yeah.
Yeah, I've been saying all year I could see it coming down to that last day where if we beat Southampton, we're up. But they're one of the only teams that have actually beaten us this season.
They picked us apart, but we didn't turn up when we went down there. That was at the early stage of the season where we just couldn't fucking buy a win away. The away form was really poor.
But do you know, weirdly enough, I don't have any of the teams that you would probably expect to win the playoffs. I'm actually going with West Brom.
Shock. I knew you were going to say West Brom.
I hope not. It's just West Brom are just one of those teams that go up and down.
Now, they've not been up for a couple of years, though. But I think West Brom, well, I've watched a couple of their games in the Championship this season, and I feel like against the top teams, they can just kind of defend quite well and hold it down. And they're a team that plays in front of a big crowd on a regular basis, so they're used to pressure. And Southampton is a relatively big crowd, but they don't sell out most games. West Brom do for a fair few. And it's like, I could just see them, because they've not been as good all year and they've not been pushing for those automatic spots, I think they'll have a little bit more energy and they've just got a bit of grit about them.
I don't know, they've plateaued a bit for me because they're on 69 points now, and I think just below the playoffs is 62 or 63. Because they were like way far ahead from dropping out of the playoffs. They've been sucked back into it now. I don't. It's not just because they're playing bad. It's because the teams that are fighting are playing quite well and picking up points. But it's like you said, it's a lottery, and you never know. It's whoever turns up on the day in the playoffs. You just don't know what's going to happen. Like historically as well, the team that finishes third rarely wins the playoffs. It's just it's unfortunate for any team out of us that misses out on automatics. It's just really unfortunate.
Oh, I wouldn't give Leeds a chance of winning the playoffs if we end up in it. I've seen us bottle it twice in my life.
The average over the last 15 seasons or something is 86 points for automatic promotion, and there's 3 teams on that or more now,
We could even all get 200, and
which is just a joke, isn't it?
you don't hear of it often anyway. Like winning league, never mind 3, you get into 100 points, and 1 you don't go up.
It's brilliant watching it. Obviously, you guys are fully invested in it, but like from the outside, the Championship playoffs.
Oh,
And
it's
such a great league.
It's because you know how much is tied to
Yeah.
it as well. Like, as a
Yeah.
Premier League fan, you know that whoever wins the
Yeah.
playoffs is going to be coming in and playing the team next season and getting loads of money as
Yeah.
well. So it
It's
changes
the
that club.
richest game in football, isn't it? The
Mhm.
playoff final, whatever it's.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
But on the Championship, the awards for different categories have been announced for the end of the season. So I wanted to go over and ask you guys who you think should win these awards. Liverpool in the box. Diaz. Oh. It's another corner for Liverpool.
Need the second goal.
By the way, Liverpool have been massively on top
this
for the
is-
majority of this game.
This is what it should have been like.
Yeah.
At
That's
Old
what it should
Trafford,
be, yeah.
dominating Manchester United is not something I
Shaky start
expected.
on it, but
Yeah, we just need that second goal.
But in fact, we'll wait until this Liverpool corner's been taken because
Scored
otherwise
from
we'll
last one,
just.
Yeah.
one of the last ones.
Onana's always doing something.
He's doing the most, isn't he?
Oh, I love it, man. He's funny.
Oh no.
Yeah. Liverpool corner here. Can they get another goal from another set piece? There is a lot of height in the Liverpool team. Just
they're
through
big.
Nunez and Van Dijk, you expect something to
Kwanzaa
happen.
as well.
Yeah. It's a pretty crap corner, to be honest. But keep the ball. Anyway, lads, yeah. So the
Sounds good,
Championship end of season awards will be coming out soon. So I wanted to ask you is who you think is going to win each one, and we'll start with the Championship manager of the season. So the nominees are Daniel Farke at Leeds, Kieran McKenna at Ipswich, or Liam Rosener at Hull.
Only 2 out of 3 of those I agree with.
Yeah,
Don't think Rosener should be anywhere,
It's strange, that, isn't
near
it?
it.
they're not even in playoffs, and they've had about 20 Premier League players. on
Which team? Which team is it?
We're going to get onto this when you touched on West Brom, because they've spent next to nothing, and they could end
doing
up
better.
Could end up going up. Like,
Yeah.
It's
So-
got to be the Ipswich.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
hasn't
Yeah.
That's-
I
that's
completely agree,
incredible.
and I
That's
think
amazing.
for Leeds fans to say that as well, I think it has actually got to be Kieran McKenna because the job that he's done at Ipswich to get him up, to get him up to the Championship and then get him in a position where all season, including myself, everyone's been saying they're going to drop off and they're still in that promotion fight. Even if they end up in playoffs, he's done a better job given the squad he's got than any other manager.
Yeah, see, unanimous on that one, isn't it? I was a bit biased at first, and I said, we'll clean sweep all 3 awards, but that were based off the fact, we chased Leicester down and cleared a 17-point gap.
That is mad.
The start of our season as well, the
yeah.
mess that he had to clean up.
It's not just on Leicester dropping points; it's on us keeping that consistency.
Yeah.
But then, like you mentioned, when do you ever see a side go up from League One again, even challenge for top 6?
It's
Was
ridiculous.
it Blackpool or something did that when they got in the Premier League? Did they go up and up and up? I'm sure a team has done that before.
I don't think it were.
Was it not Blackpool?
It won't Blackpool. I don't think.
I think
someone has done.
there's been a few teams that have gone up. I think Leicester might have done it.
No, Leicester went up to the Prem, then just avoided relegation. Then the next season they won
Ah,
the league,
right.
didn't
Yeah, that's insane.
That's ridiculous.
That's
I know-
the same sort of
Yeah.
achievement.
I know
because-
that like Brighton and Luton had pretty quick journeys from League One to
Well,
the
yeah, Luton have
Premier
come
League.
all the way up, haven't they?
they? Didn't Bournemouth rise
as
up
well.
from 2
Bournemouth,
to
yeah.
top with what's he called? Manager.
Did Man City or like
Yeah.
Fulham do it like right back in the day when they went down to the lower leagues? I'm sure they did. Like
Maybe Man City
yeah,
might have done. I'm not
like
sure.
Early 2000s, something like maybe I don't know.
But then the next award is for the Championship Player of the Season. And the nominees are Kieran Dewsbury Hall at Leicester. His name's Kiernan. Like N-A-N, it's spelled. Kier, N-A-N, apparently.
Kieran,
Not
no?
Kieran.
Yeah, but
Kiernan.
unless I've got that wrong, but I
No,
swear when I
surely.
looked, into it, that was actually what it said.
Go on, go on.
Liverpool with another good chance.
So yeah.
Anyway, I'm just going to say Kieran Dewsbury Hall at Leicester, Crysencio Somerville at Leeds, and Sammy Smodics at Blackburn.
Is he the top scorer?
I feel like you looked at me. I feel like we're thinking the same, but
Yeah, I'm not
it's
sure.
like who's going to go first?
Yeah,
and
you
just
go
confirm
first.
it. I wanted to say Somerville, but I think Smodics. I think we're thinking the same thing. Like you're playing in a relegation threatened side and you're bagging
It's
20
like
odd goals. Yeah,
I completely agree. I think
Can't
I
really
want.
argue with it,
I
can
think Somerville might be a slightly better player overall, but Smodics as a striker to be doing that at Blackburn is mad.
Where are Blackburn? Are they
They're
literally?
fighting relegation.
really?
Fighting relegation, and is it 24 or 25
And that-
goals?
24, I think.
Yeah, 20 something
Wow.
goals. He's the top scorer of the Championship. And in comparison to, I suppose like Leeds, the goals have been spread out a little bit more, but it doesn't matter. Smodics has still just done bits all year. He's been bagging.
And the thing is, like, Somerville was shit hot in first half of the season, and I don't think he obviously scored some good goals. He scored against Watford, that was a beauty, but he's dropped off a little bit. Not in terms of his overall performance. as being
Liverpool.
good,
Oh,
just the
go on.
goals.
Oh, this is really annoying.
Manchester United have
He
been.
goes through phases within the game because not being many games in the second half of the season where it's, you know, like the Somerville show, as much as he wants it to be, you know, it's not.
You can't think of him like you
clicked as much.
look back at Norwich away, you know, when we're 2-0 down. That's the Somerville show. And there was a few games where he just took the game by the scruff of the neck, but he's just not really done that as much in the second half of the season. Still fantastic player, but like you said, the goals are more spread out in our squad. You've got to give it to Smodics, is it?
Yeah,
Is that how you
Smodics.
pronounce it?
I think, yeah, it's got to be him for me. And there's one award left.
Yeah, don't bother because it's not even up for debate.
Archie Gray right next.
It's Young Player of the Year. The nominees are Archie Gray, John Rowe, and Jordan James.
Who?
The obvious winner here is Archie Gray. His name's been mentioned by Gareth Southgate recently. He has had an absolutely banging season for Leeds this year. Do you think we've ever seen a young player do this well for Leeds?
Again, what is it? He's just turned 18, so
He's been 17 for the majority of the year.
I want to be having this conversation in 2 seasons' time. You know, saying like, have you ever seen a young player do this well? Because we're so used to like seeing our good young players just cherry picked off us whenever. And you know, he's linked to like Dortmund, and I know Real Madrid is a bit of a. I think that one's just gathered some attention and it's been run away with. But like Dortmund sounds quite realistic. You know, like he could be offered that same sort of stepping stone path as Bellingham. But
Is he full back, like right back? Left back?
he's a
What is
centre
he?
midfielder.
Oh, is he centre
But
midfielder?
he's been playing at right
he's been
back,
playing.
yeah.
He played right back in the England like youth setup, and like he has played there before in his.
Is he
youth
Thingy's
career.
son, Eddie Gray's son? Yeah.
Oh, grandson.
Grandson.
Bloody hell, grandson, Christ.
Getting on a bit.
Yeah.
But I think he's one of those where if nothing goes seriously wrong in terms of a major injury, etc., I could see him becoming a massive player for whoever he ends up joining. Because it
just
won't be
take
Do you
for
think
us.
you'll
Chelsea
keep
game,
hold of
man.
him though? Do you think,
I think
down
maybe
the
if-
line he'll probably...
I think if we go up, we'll keep hold of him for another season or two. But if we stay down, I think he might get picked because he's that good where someone will probably offer 30 million to a championship team and you can't really say no to that.
But it depends who it is as well, though, because like you saw it with who was it? Odegaard when he was like 15 and he went to Real Madrid and then he were on loan for like 6 years or something and then went to Arsenal. Albeit he's brilliant now, but it's just how your career can stall a little bit. For me, there's no reason for him to even jump ship now and go to
Oh, no, he just
like
needs
a
to
Dortmund.
stay.
His game's
Yeah.
only going to get better while he's playing, you know, senior football. He'll learn so much from like the players around him and stuff.
He is a Leeds boy as well, and you'd like to think that he'd want to try stick about for a bit. And he'd recently signed a relatively new deal to like 28 or 27, I think 2027 that is.
Yeah, he'll have got a little bit more money, etc. on that one, won't he? So I pray he stays, but I just can't see him staying for too long. If he continues to develop as well, because we're already saying how good he is, he should only get better for at least the next couple of years. So I think Dortmund would be a nice place for him to go. There's no rivalry there with Leeds, actually. There's a bit of a friendship. There's Dortmund Square in
Twin
Leeds.
Cities, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, with both, what is it, the man with barrel?
Yeah.
We've both got one, yeah.
Oh, they've got one as well.
They've got a man with the one that's outside.
A CX
Very
and
in
that,
centre.
yeah.
They've both.
Yeah,
a man
they've
with
got
barrel.
exactly the
It were a
same
gift
thing.
or
Is
something,
it
wasn't
like, are you twinned? Is Leeds and
Twin
Dortmund twins?
cities,
Is
yeah.
it Twin Cities, yeah.
So, yeah, I hope he goes there. But that's the end of the awards. We've got Kieran McKenna as manager. And no one disagreed on any of them. Everyone just agreed with them
It's
all,
hard-
which is
it's
pretty
hard
wild.
to
Because
really with
it's
them.
more, it's just logical thinking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't really get throwing a bias there.
I'm just happy that none of us Leeds fans were too biased and tried saying Fark or something, because it's a possibility.
He's done well, do you know what I mean? He's done great.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You can't say any different than Kieran McKenna, can you? It'd be ridiculous to.
No, you can't really. Should we jump into... In fact, Simon, it's half time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
What do you think about that first half?
Good. First 10 minutes were a bit dodgy, but since then we've controlled the game and it's just frustrating that we've only got one goal. We desperately need that second goal because I think United will have another chance or two in the second half. So, yeah, happy we're winning. We're playing well. We just need that second goal, definitely.
Weirdly, out of the Liverpool fixtures I've watched recently, this seemed like a more calm and collected half in comparison to
you're right.
recent games.
Yeah, which quite surprised because I thought it would be a lot more like the cup game a few weeks ago. So it's quite refreshing to see we're in complete control at the moment, which is good. But we just need to keep that going in the second half.
At that first, it's just a case of if you can get anything out of them at half time, Ten Hag, you know, like how they'll come out in the second half, because they had that first 5 or 10 minutes where it looked like they were trying to get at you, whereas, like you mentioned, now you've taken all that game a bit.
I think they'll probably come out, like you say, all guns blazing, and hopefully for the first 10 minutes we can just ride it and then just pick them off. Fingers crossed. But yeah, no, pleased.
Yeah, it's been good for Liverpool. Should we jump into the halftime debate? And it is predicting the Euros group winners. So I've got all the groups here ready to go over them. So I'm sure you've got some notes on it as well. But I'll give you Group A, and I want to predict it from top to bottom, literally from first to fourth, because there's only 4 teams. So
Mine is literally how it is there.
Is it? So Group A is Germany, Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland.
I've got it as it is.
So you're going...
Hungary, decent team. They paced us 4-0 at Nations League about 2 years ago. Yeah. They're a good side, but honestly, Scotland in qualifying were absolutely fantastic. And you know what it is? It goes back to one of them clips that did quite well on TikTok. It goes back to, I kind of want to see the home nations do well, but I know that they just don't feel the same about us. But my mum's parents are Scottish, my dad's Irish, you know what I mean? I've got a little bit of connection to some of them, but it's just the way that they hate us that makes me kind of not arsed of the fuck.
What are you?
English.
Right, who are you spotting at Euros?
England.
There you go.
Straight up.
You were ready to hate then. No, but I've got it.
I hear it loud and clear.
My 4 goes... Germany winning it, I would assume we all have that because they're by far the best team. Scotland second. I have Switzerland third and Hungary fourth.
I went Hungary second.
Did you?
I can see
they're a good team.
They're a good side.
There's going to be some sort of dark horse that like creeps through rounds a little bit, and it could be.
For some reason, I thought Switzerland. I only had Switzerland to finish above Hungary because they did quite well. Was it in the last World Cup when Xhaka was playing and they had a couple of good games in a row? So I just thought as a gelled squad, if they've played more tournament football recently,
they knocked France out of the quarterfinal of the last Euros on penalties, I think. That was the mental game.
But that would have been, and even to hold France to get to penalties, you got to have something about you. But that was quite
3-1. They were like 3-1 down at one point in that game in the last Euros. I think it ended up drawing 3-3. Went to penalties.
How did you have Group A?
The exact same as you, but Switzerland third. Did you say Switzerland?
I said Switzerland third. Yeah,
same as you.
Yeah, easy. Let's move on to Group B, which is a little bit more of a tough one. You've got Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania. Obviously, Spain, Italy, and Croatia are all pretty top-level teams.
I think Croatia are past it.
Is Modric still playing for them, or is he retired?
I think he still is.
He's still playing.
He might still be.
I mean, he still is at Madrid, so I would assume he's still playing.
I think they had their like golden chance of. I think to be fair, that was their peak as well, like a World Cup final.
Yeah,
and stuff
literally.
like that's like I wouldn't see him like beating anyone, even at that, like the way they were before.
Tournament too far, isn't it? Maybe.
Yeah, they're getting pretty old. The key players that they've got anyway.
Ellis, do you want to start off? How have you got that group then?
I've got Spain, Italy, Croatia, and Albania.
Yeah,
identical. Yeah.
I've got Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania.
Italy, they just threw the skin of their teeth.
They're really struggling.
There's a couple of teams like that though. Like I've got Germany winning Group A, but they could easily not go through. Yeah. Like they're a bit like dodgy in a way, aren't they?
Germany in recent years have been weirdly bad internationally. Yeah. I mean, you would expect them to win their group, but sometimes when they play, there's like no cohesion to the team at all. It's like all the old players from like the early 2010s that did really well.
The 1 or 2 from World Cup winning squad.
Yeah, it's like the leadership that they had and the quality has never quite been matched.
You look at that 23, is it 23-man squad, when it gets announced, you just look at the list of names and I don't think there's names that stand out to me at all.
I think the only thing that could help Germany is Toni Kroos has gone back to playing international. So he's come back to the squad.
It's their home tournament as well, which gives you some kind of advantage.
Yeah, it does help. Yeah. It does help. But no, I've got Croatia second in the group over Italy because Italy barely scraped it in to even play in the tournament.
They know how to
play tournament
football. They know how to get through, though, don't they?
Like, look at them. They won the Euros. I know it was penalties, but they struggled. They've not qualified for the past 2 or 3 World Cups, which is absolutely mental. This is Italy we're talking about, 5-time winners. But they just know.
They just know, yeah.
I think there's just like, even though...
but how can you say they just know if they've not even qualified for
once they're in a tournament, I think once they get there...
It's the belief in themselves because at the end of the day, I know they struggle to qualify, but you see Italy in that final against England. Like, England have got that thing in the back of the mind, even as players will have it. Like, we kind of need to do this. We've not done this. Whereas the Italian players, they've won tournaments. Them players might not have necessarily done it, but they've got the belief in themselves.
Like winning tournaments is a culture. Like, there's all those past players who can bring into camps and stuff and help out. You see it so many times, like ex-players joining coaching staff and stuff for major tournaments, and like you say, like Italians, like tournament football again, are kind of like notorious at just like doing what needs to be done.
They've got bottle. So
well, I pray they don't get to the final again because that was a depressing day. But Group C, the England group, we've got England, Serbia, Denmark, and Slovenia. How do we see this going? Everyone's got to have England top, surely.
England, Denmark, Serbia, and Slovenia.
Yeah, exactly.
I've gone England, Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia.
bruv. You're off your rocker. Slovenia, man.
I think they do all right. The thing is, I don't know. I don't rate Denmark that much.
It's a weak group, and England should like trounce all those teams.
Oh, England should win every single game. I'd be surprised if they don't, unless maybe the last game we put a weaker team out. To be honest, I think bar England, it could really be anyone that finishes second in my head.
I won't argue with that, to be fair. It's not really an idea. But Slovenia, Serbia have got a few decent players.
Serbia have a few good players. Maybe I meant to put Serbia there. That's why I'm not backing it so much, because I feel like I got them accidentally mixed up in my head.
I mean, it's easily done, I guess.
So I'm not gonna get too hyped about that one. But Group D next. This is quite a hard one to predict. So the people in the group are actually Austria, Netherlands, Poland, and France. How do we see this one going?
France, Holland, 1 and 2.
France group winner, and then again Holland, like they're in a bit of a dodgy patch. Like only just in the last national break, there were no Ajax players in there, which tells you all you need to know. Like your historic, like best team in Holland, and they're not getting like players in the side, so it's good quality there at all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I think Holland are weird. They've not been amazing for years now. When was the last time you remember them actually doing fantastically well in a tournament?
I watched them in a friendly against Scotland, I think, when the last friendlies were on. And I think they ended up winning like 3-0, but Scotland were by far the better team, weirdly enough. I think Scotland played quite well. Just didn't take the chances, and Netherlands ended up scoring a few headers.
It's like they have very good players, though. It's one of those where I could see them not making it out the group. I actually have it finishing France, Netherlands, Poland, Austria, by the way.
As me, innit?
Does everyone have that, Simon?
Yeah.
But I could see Netherlands dropping out quite easily.
But it's like it's weird with Holland, because you say with Italy they know how, but Holland, it's like self-destructive mode, isn't it? They always seem to kind of, find like argue against themselves, so to speak, and never quite do it. I know they got to the final. Was it
2010 against Spain,
wasn't it? But
they did quite well in one of the Nations League. Did they win the Nations League? Or they were in the final against Portugal?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think Portugal won it though.
League, is it that
no, but I'm
big a
saying
deal?
it's
Do you know
not.
what
It's
I
not
mean?
that big a deal, but it still should help with squad confidence if you're managing to get to the final or do pretty well in a competition. So, yeah, but at the same time, it just seems like the squad never clicks. So it wouldn't surprise me. But I don't know if Poland or Austria are really good enough to challenge them.
Is Lewandowski still playing?
Yeah, Lewandowski's still playing, and Poland have a couple of decent players that have played in Europe, but nothing in comparison to Holland. So I guess we'll wait and see.
I'd have that though, yeah.
Group E, we've got Ukraine, Slovakia, Belgium, and Romania.
I've got a Belgian group winner straight off at back, just purely because they're so much better than anybody else in that group. But
I think this is really hard to predict for the rest of it. Who have you got next?
I've got Belgium, Ukraine, Slovakia, and Romania here. But again, it could easily be
any three, isn't
like
it?
any of those could beat any of the other.
So weirdly, I've got Slovakia second and Ukraine third. I had a look into it. I should have wrote the players down, but Slovakia actually had a couple decent players. Some that I'd heard of, more so than Ukraine. Ukraine have one or two, obviously, you think, of Zinchenko, and is it a federal? Yeah, but I don't see Mudryk doing much against an international team, to be honest.
I don't know.
He's decent player.
He's not bad.
Is that sort of player who, like, the country is gonna like rely on him a bit because of
He might thrive off
Yeah, I think he will. I think he'll have a good tournament. I think
He could do all right.
I've got them second, but just
Ukraine second.
Yeah.
Anything could happen in that. Second to fourth, really, couldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think they scraped getting into it again. They only got it through qualification rounds later on. So I think in terms of quality of team, maybe, but maybe it's not there. Should we move on to the Group F, the final group? And it is Portugal, Turkey, Czech Republic, and Georgia. How do we have this one looking, boys?
Well, you know who's top? Portugal.
Portugal, and I think
I've got
a few of us
Turkey.
might think we're being out there, but all I've got the same. And then we've got Turkey in second.
I've got Turkey in second.
Czech Republic.
I reckon
I've got
Turkey,
Czech in
dark
second.
horses this time round.
Do you remember that, the last World Cup? Everyone.
I think last 3 tournaments, people have been saying, "Oh, Turkey, dark horses," they're just been fucking shit every single time. But I've still got them second. I don't know, they've got a good few players, but it's another one of them groups where second, third, and fourth could literally be anything. But like,
Well, I don't think Georgia are in with
They've
much
got
of a
that
chance.
Napoli player, haven't they? That
Oh,
can't pronounce his name.
Kvaratskhelia.
I think the thing is with Georgia,
He's good, but
it's the first time at any major tournament.
Is it?
So they might just have that little bit extra
Georgia,
desire.
yeah.
You never know. Like,
We're at the other. We're at Iceland. I don't.
Yeah,
We're there.
was
It
it-
wasn't the first year major tournament, was it? But was it? But like
Yeah, I
again,
think it
like,
was, yeah,
everyone
yeah.
were writing them
Knocked
off, and then
England
they
out,
put us
didn't they?
out.
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Had a decent run.
Gives them an extra little bit of desire, I think.
Oh yeah.
Want to make a name for themselves first
Yeah.
time in the tournament.
I've got Czech Republic second. I just think Ukraine won't have enough at the end of the day. Not Ukraine, Turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah, I just think Turkey. Everyone predicts them to do well every time, and they never actually do well. So maybe they'll surprise everyone this time that they're not been predicted. They'll be watching the internet and saying, "Well, no one expects us to do well." So we actually will this time when no one's got a bet on. But on the Euros. Obviously, we've seen England perform pretty poorly in the last set of international friendlies.
I've got, this is what you're going to go on to, our potential route to a final.
Go on then.
If you want to
Yeah.
hear
Oh
it.
yeah, go on.
Yeah.
So this is just based off of like world rankings comes into it. You expect the team that's rated higher to beat the teams. This is just basically how it'd pan out in that sense. In the round of 16, we'll play the like it's a third finisher, isn't it? The best performing third place. So it'd either be, by the looks of it, Austria, Romania or Turkey in a round of 16, a quarter-final against Italy, a semi-final against France, and a Spain in a final. That's just going off world
Yeah.
rankings.
I think
France,
If-
and
if
you come up against
France in a
yeah.
semi-final.
again, though, if you're gonna win it, you're gonna have to beat one of those.
You've got to.
eventually,
You've
but
got to. You're not going to have a run like we had at the last Euros. Like, let's be honest, that run was fucking. You could get past Germany. I mean, it's always going to be a tough game, no matter what Germany are like, because it's the history as well,
Yeah,
isn't it? But
yeah.
then you get Ukraine in a quarter-final, walk it at 4-0. But in my honest opinion, I do think we were a little bit better than France and unlucky when we played them in the World Cup. I know we had 2 penalties. Didn't score from open play, but I honestly think on a different day we could have won that. We had more of the ball, more attempts on target, more attempts on goal, just in general. On another day we could win that, but I think we just need to beat one of them because our record against these top teams is just
Yeah,
isn't
it's
good
poor,
enough, is
isn't
it?
it?
it's just
Yeah.
sad. Like if we go up against France,
Fucking
I'm
hell.
gonna go from there. If we go up against France, I want to see us go up against France. Like I don't want to see like this, like boring sort of like cagey football.
Pragmatism,
like,
yeah.
you know, like showing them respect in a way. Like I want to see us like have a go with them.
Do you know what?
I felt England
completely-
did that again when they lost to France. I felt
In
they
the,
did
in
go
the
up
World
against
Cup, I
them,
think
didn't they? Yeah.
I
It was a good game.
quite impressed. to
Yeah.
be
Well, it was
honest.
just that missed penalty that played us, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them, innit?
It's unlucky. I'm not like angry at Kane as such for it. It's
know.
more so just if we'd have scored that, the game would have ended completely
I
differently.
hate
wouldn't
to
it?
go back to it as well, but their first goal, Saka just gets ragged down on the edge of their box when we're attacking. Referee just doesn't blow for a foul. They go at the pitch and score that first
Was
goal.
it 2 many you got that, was it?
Yeah,
Something,
I mean,
But
it's just, oh mate, it winds me up.
On that path to the final, though, I do think if we manage to get past France, Spain have looked a lot better in the last year or two because they went when I was younger. Spain went through a patch where they were just undoubtedly
Oh,
the
yeah.
best international team for
Yeah.
years, and they had that Xavi, Iniesta, Sergio Busquets, David Villa, Torres,
Barcelona, pretty
just
much.
pretty much. But then, well, not just them; they had Sergio
Well, they had Real
Ramos.
Madrid players as well.
Yeah,
but
like so many good players.
they're always going to be able to play ball about Spain, no matter who's in the squad. They've just got that drilled into them. It's a Spanish style of play. They
Yeah.
can always play
Especially
good
when like
football.
65% of your squad play together on a
Oh, yeah,
day-to-day
yeah.
basis. Anyway, like
It's frightening.
So I think if we do get to the final, it could be a case of maybe we'll lose to Spain.
I've got us winning it, me. I swear to God.
I would expect you to.
I think
we
France.
love
I
the
think France and
optimism every
England.
year.
Oh, listen,
Every
he
year.
gets sick of me because I'm the same with Leeds. But honestly, I think this is it.
France and England are the favourites. I think.
This is it, and I think the thing is with us, once we get that one tournament with the squad that we've got and how young everyone is, going forwards, it could be scary for other teams because you just need to get that one out of the way so it gets out the back of your mind that we can't win things.
Do you not just think you need? It's just Southgate holding you back.
Well,
You know, I
at
think.
the end of the day, if we don't win it this time, we're gonna have to move on from him.
I
aren't we?
think we won't win it this time because of Southgate, and everyone will go, well, we should have got rid of him after last tournament. Why are we playing defensive football when we've got Foden, Kane, Saka?
Go on.
Oh,
First
Liverpool.
time.
some power behind that. Though.
Manchester United have blocked about 1,000 good opportunities this game when Liverpool have got a shot in box.
Touch.
Oh, Rashford running down the
He'll be
wing.
gone here, yeah.
Took that in his stride really well.
Rashford.
Good covering.
Oh.
Brilliant
well done.
concept.
Did he try to take him on then instead of putting it across the box?
That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
I thought that's all he could do, to be honest.
I thought he could have got a little cross in.
I don't even know.
But yeah, I think that this
How
tournament.
easy is that?
So much space.
Dorsey.
Oh,
That's great interception.
he's done
that,
well,
innit?
that young lad for United. He's done very well.
Showing a little bit of passion.
Oh,
innit?
great pass, referee. Oh.
I tell you what, though, Southgate will play us this tournament. I fully believe that we'll be close against a team like France or Spain, and it'll be our defensive concentration that'll mean we don't end up doing anything, because we have the attackers to beat any team on the planet.
Oh, without a doubt.
But I just don't think we'll play in the way we
I
should.
agree, but I still think a manager surely can't hold a group of players like that much back. I don't know. I mean, I know he has, but I think if we do win it, it's not going to be anything to do with him. It's just going to be purely the players turning up. And obviously, they've got to play the way that he wants them to play, but I just think we've got that much talent. It's the best team on paper in the world, obviously very close with France.
I just think Pickford's not a very good goalkeeper. I think that's always...
He's always been,
I
he's
don't-
in an
He's been
England
alright
shirt.
for England, though, hasn't he?
Liverpool.
Fantastic. In an England shirt, I just don't know what it is. I think that that thing against Belgium when he played pass out, I think that's the first time he's made an error that's led to a goal in an England shirt. He's saved. Honestly, if it wasn't for our attacking players missing penalties in the Euros final, he'd probably be on the other side of a £5 banknote, saving 2 penalties.
Yeah.
I think Jorginho had a 100% penalty conversion rate, and he steps up to take a penalty which would have won them a game then, and he's just there like,
Yeah.
no problems, saves it, tips it on tip post.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't really like Pickford at club level, but I do think for England he has done well. I wouldn't change him in net for England going into a new tournament. I think
He's got the experience. Oh,
dear.
what's he doing?
Oh, my God.
No!
Manchester United have scored.
I just go, what's he doing?
What has just happened there? That's
Bruno Fernandes from about 40 yards out.
That's
Kwanzaa as
fucking
well.
hilarious, mate. What's he
Oh.
doing?
Such a shame because he's had such a good game as well.
He's been brilliant.
That's why you wanted the second goal, innit?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Shit like that can just happen.
Who was that with the howler?
Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa's.
That's just unbelievable.
Manchester United, who have done practically nothing all game, managed to.
That's what I mean.
to
It's,
be
these,
him as
it's
well,
what they
innit?
do in these
Fucking
games. It's
Bruno,
so
man.
frustrating.
Bruno the rat bag.
Somebody needs to get their arm around him, though, because you can see
He'll be
he's
all right. He'll be
heartbroken.
fine with Van Dijk there. But what are you doing?
Oh.
Great finish though, to be honest.
Ooh.
He nearly handballed that outside at box.
Red card.
Yeah, it would have been red card.
It'd have been a straight red as well. Liverpool would have been fully
Where
out of
does he think
keepers.
he is? He's fully gone for it with his hand.
It'd have been funny if he did save it, though.
Yeah, I respect it. You can't, want you?
Oh,
He's on the
dear
edge of his
me.
day.
So on another day, that had been spooned out, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Simon.
That's what I mean. It's just with not having that second goal, something like this was bound to happen. And that's what's so frustrating.
I think, like, you came out of blocks a bit, and I don't think it'll change.
The momentum of the game.
Yeah, no.
I hope not.
I think it might. It only takes a goal like that at Old Trafford
that's what
after.
I mean. Yeah.
Because Liverpool have dominated so far. I think now if the crowd's on Man United's side, it might change things a little bit. But
Yeah.
I certainly hope it doesn't.
There we go.
Man United weaving a few nice passes. Because, well, I mean, Rashford had that good run also in this half, didn't he? So it's not just that goal. They
True, but
started off a little bit better. Van Dijk is such a quality
Is he
defender,
touched
isn't he?
ball yet, Ireland?
Not that I remember. Honestly, I feel like service to him sometimes in games like this is just it's peak.
Oh,
He
I
barely
know,
gets a
yeah.
fucking chance. Minimal touches on the ball. Here we go.
Nunes with the ball.
Oh.
He's done quite well there.
well defended
Yeah, well
again.
defended. And then it's
He's
a
done
Man
really
United
well.
free
He's
kick.
done well.
Look at him, he's loving it.
Is this his first time starting? I don't think I've
I
really
think, it's first,
was
I think
it-
he's
was
made a
it
couple of
Cannavaro?
appearances, but yeah, I think this is his first start. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I've never really
What a
seen much
game
of
for
him.
your first start as well.
I know you'd be shitting it, wouldn't you? But this is one of the biggest rivalries in English football, if not world football. And I wanted to ask a question which is quite tough of football fans. And it is teams that you have a soft spot for and why. Because I think everyone has them. You know, a team when you see them play and you kind of want them to do well.
No.
Simon, let's start off with you.
Yeah, well, I suppose my second team, if you can have a second team, is
Everton.
Not Everton, Tranmere Rovers, because that's where my mum's from.
All right,
the Wirral.
okay.
So, and I've been to see them play quite a few times. I went to the 2000 League Cup final where they lost to Everton. Leicester at the old Wembley.
That was it.
So I've seen them a few times, and obviously the connection with like John Aldridge as well. You know, ex-Liverpool striker, and he was one of their best managers and stuff. So yeah, there's always that connection. And then I think randomly, it's quite weird this, but I do have a soft spot for Arsenal as well. I know it sounds strange, but I think as a Liverpool fan, we've never really gone up against them in a league title, apart from this season, obviously, but so we've never really had that kind of like toxic kind of, relationship, so to speak, with fans and stuff. And all the Arsenal fans I do know, they're quite sound as well.
Yeah.
Plus, I love like Thierry Henry is my favourite non-Liverpool player in the Premier League, and I loved Wenger and Adams and Bergkamp and stuff like that. So I've just always had a soft spot for Arsenal, I think.
I think that's pretty valid. My number one pick is actually Arsenal as well. I think as a Leeds fan, we've never had a massive rivalry with them. There's a bit of bad blood there, and there's always a lot of...
Oh, God.
Tell you what.
That's what I mean. It's just...
I don't think it'll change. Balance it game.
I hope you're right.
We've got a stinker there, haven't we?
Don't listen to me. No, nothing.
But there's always a lot of talk around like Henry always used to score against Leeds and whatever. But when I was young and I was getting into football, I remember looking at the Arsenal team and the way that they played under Wenger. And when I was getting into it, they had players like Henry there. And then even from that era, they were still pretty good for a little while up till like the 2010s. I just think that they were such a good team to watch, and because we didn't have a rivalry with them, it wasn't like my dad wasn't sat there going, "Yeah, fuck these lot."
I think that's key. I think that's definitely key. If you don't have a direct rivalry,
Liverpool on the attack here.
Come on!
Salah puts it to Diaz, puts it across. Nunez doesn't even get it at the net.
Was he squaring it, or what was he doing?
I don't know. I don't think he knows.
Oh,
Diaz, I have a go.
I know. I mean, to be fair, it goes in then, brilliant pass, but I'd be digging that, mate.
Well, I don't know what Nunez has actually tried there. Surely that was just a mishit shot because...
Nice tried 1-2 with Diaz, hasn't he? Let's have a look at
Foot
this.
for it. Terrified.
oh no, he's gone for the shot there, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's just a horribly bad shot. How's he shooting away from the goalkeeper?
His heel. Ugh.
That's I don't know
he's
what
just
he's
box
done
office,
there.
isn't he?
Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah.
He's just
So unpredictable, isn't he? Don't know what
Nunez, you've literally got no idea.
Oh, Robertson's
Pretty
corners
poor
have been
corner.
rubbish.
Carnage in one game.
Liverpool have had a lot of corners, and bar the one they've scored, a lot of them haven't beaten first man, which is really poor for
Leeds that.
Andy Robertson. Yeah, Leeds that.
Oh, brilliant, McAllister.
No, I said the one that they've scored.
Oh, shit.
Wish it were us.
Oh.
I don't even remember. To be fair, I think the only corner I think we scored from this season was it maybe. I think I remember Sam Byram scoring one at Watford at home.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
don't particularly remember any others. I remember that we were there. weren't we?
But Brad, any teams you have a soft spot for, and why?
Not a soft spot as such. I go through phases where I just seem to take an interest in teams' results. So, for example, this season it's been Wrexham, and that's purely.
I've been doing that with Wrexham.
Yeah, it's
I think,
purely just because I've watched that documentary both seasons, and I'm invested in it now. Like, I want to see how they're getting on and stuff.
So
no soft spots, but I go through like little phases where I take an interest.
They're
Like
looking
Luton
like
are growing
promoted.
on me a little bit, just because I just think. Oh, I say, oh, bless them. You know what I mean? Like,
I
they
feel
shouldn't
you.
be there, and they're having a go. But if they got to spend a little bit and got a few years to build a bit of a team, because like they do actually play good football.
They've
and
been better than other two that come up.
yeah, and they try compete. But Luton, I'm kind of looking out for. I'm kind of rooting for a little bit in a way. in Premier
Yeah,
League.
I hope they stay up, mate.
Yeah.
But no, there's no team who really. I think that's just Leeds bias. So, isn't it like, oh, fuck everyone
Yeah,
else.
well, I
Goes
think
against everyone.
yeah.
I think Luton, everyone's kind of rooting for them, bar obviously the teams that are in that relegation battle, as you said, just because they've come up, and they shouldn't really be a Premier League team, should they?
It's the fucking ground, man.
Yeah.
It's the ground, isn't it?
But it's strange though, because they're one of those teams where I know how I view football. I want them to stay up now, but if they stayed up for another 3 seasons, I'd be going, nah, fuck them off. It'd be better if Sheffield Wednesday or Leeds or Sunderland or something were in Prem, just for like the rivalries and atmosphere side of things. So I kind of want them to do well at this very moment for themselves, and like just because it's interesting. But in a couple of seasons, I'll be thinking, get them out at Prem.
Yeah, no.
Like, they should. Same with Bournemouth when they first went up.
Go on.
Salah in box.
Oh, go on.
Let off.
Square it.
Let off.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's not chalk and cheese as such, but it's a case of if we miss out on promotion this season, and then I'm watching Super Sunday next season, and Luton are still in Premier League, and I think, I know you can't just base football off club size. That's why England's so good, just because of pyramid. But I'd just be so bitter and jealous, and just think, that's our spot. That you know, even though they're in Europe, like your Brightons and Brentfords and stuff like.
Yeah, I agree.
Just based on your name, no off.
And that's the thing. I don't just think it for Leeds though. I don't want to. I'm not actually being biased with it. Like I would rather have. I'm a Leeds United fan, and I'd rather Sheffield Wednesday be promoted to the Premier League and be swapped for Brentford or Bournemouth or Brighton.
I know what you mean. It's more an historical club, isn't it? Kind
Yeah.
of thing.
If we were in there, then yeah.
Yeah.
But
If we weren't, then fuck them.
yeah,
No, but I'd rather see Sheff Wednesday against Man United than Brentford against Man United. If I'm watching the footy, I would rather watch that.
what about this? So like you're live on a Sunday watching Man United v Sheff Wednesday, and in comments are all going, Championship. I don't want them nowhere near Premier League without us being in there.
Nah, but I don't mind it still. I don't mind it.
No.
You're always going to have that banter. That's what football's about. But I just can't stand some of those smaller teams. This game has been so end to end.
It's been a great game. Always come up with some crackers, but then they can always come up with some fucking pretty dull affairs.
Yeah, it's not been nervy, has it? Both teams have just been going for it.
You've got to win, really.
Well, we do, yeah. And
Can't drop points.
Ellis, is there any teams that you have a soft spot for?
Well, one that we touched on earlier, Twin City, Dortmund. I always check up on them.
like Dortmund as
just they're obviously the second fiddle to Munich, and I don't like that. I want them to do well. Like I was gutted last season. I think they lost out on goal difference or something, didn't they, on last day? And I was absolutely wounded for them because they ended up drawing.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say Dortmund.
they're a proper club with like a proper fan base as well. Like really get behind the team and make a difference in the stadium. And
Definitely. It's quite a sight to see in it sometimes. Big yellow wall in it. It's just ridiculous.
Weirdly, I have a soft spot for a different German team, and it is Hamburg. Because when I was younger, I went to Hamburg. Yeah, I've got a Hamburg top. I've wore it on here a couple of times. But I went to see at the Hamburg Stadium them play Bayern Munich. And they should have won. And this is when Bayern Munich were on top form. It was in like 2016, 2017 when they still had Lewandowski and stuff and they were just peppering everyone. Hamburg lost 1-0 but were really close. And then the next year I went back to Germany and went in the away end at Dortmund with the Hamburg fans. So I was and with the away fans. So I think because I went to those two games, like we originally did them because we wanted to see the Dortmund Stadium and we wanted to see Bayern Munich, but you couldn't get tickets for the Allianz. But then because I was with the Hamburg fans both times, and both times they lost like 1-0 but shouldn't have, I kind of built a bit of a connection with them. And then they've actually been relegated to Bundesliga 2 and haven't come back up, but they've got like a 55k
they're a massive club,
They're
like
good team to
back
be
in the
on
day,
Football Manager,
There's the links
just because
with-
it's rebuilding not a giant, but rebuilding a good club.
Yeah,
Well, they are pretty big. I would go as far to say giant, to be honest.
No,
Because
they're one of the biggest. I think they're in the top 3 or 4 or 4 or 5 maybe German clubs. Like
oh, definitely.
late 70s, early 80s. Like Kevin Keegan went from Liverpool to Hamburg, and they were doing well. And
And when I was walking around the city, there's another team in Hamburg, and there's like a huge rivalry. I can't remember what the team's called. St. Pauli, and they're like known as one of the most angry, like violent fan bases in football.
Like a short documentary on that.
Yeah, they're
from
mental.
Like 90 or whatever it is.
Yeah, it will be. Because they'll have like one of those derby videos where it's about them too. Because it looked mad, and we went and did a tour of the St. Pauli Stadium as well while we were there, and it just felt like a real footballing city. And from that point, I've always liked Hamburg. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. I've got a question. Out of the two big dogs in Scotland, who do you prefer? Because I've always preferred Rangers, me.
You know,
I suppose it's Celtic for me.
I'm one of the only people I know that I know a few, to be fair, that's a lie, but like I'm completely unbothered by Scottish football.
I know what you mean. It's like
Not just because it's Scottish football, but like I was watching Old Firm earlier on today, and I just didn't care. Who won.
7th time this season or something.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think
It's on every week.
Yeah.
Like I don't care.
And it's just not, the quality is not that good.
No, it is pretty poor.
Have you got a parent who's like?
No, I think the only reason I like Rangers is because when I was younger, I always used to play as them on FIFA and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's literally the reason. And I think I had a Rangers shirt as well at one point.
Yeah.
And it's like my family is very much into football, so it was like, oh well, which team do you prefer in Scotland? So I just picked Rangers.
Yeah.
But there's not like a proper reason for it.
I think if I was to say which one I'd prefer, I always kind of just maybe root for the more of an underdog. Rangers, they dropped down leagues.
Yeah, they went down.
Yeah, that's a good story. Them coming
And
back
they had
in
to
it.
go,
Yeah.
They had to fight to get the way back up. So I always go for
Yeah.
probably the
I think
underdog.
for Liverpool, it's probably Celtic because of the Kenny Dalglish kind of thing and the kind of the Irish link as well. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, I thought you might have gone Rangers because of the Steven Gerrard connection of more recent times.
Well, no. But again, I just don't really care because I don't think Scottish football's that good at all.
I mean,
So
Scottish
it's
football is literally League One level
It
football.
is, yeah.
I honestly think we might have covered
Is
it.
he on?
Oof.
I think Celtic and Rangers would struggle to get out of the Championship.
Yeah, I think, well, we kind of had this
Really
debate
would.
before on the
Yeah.
show, and I think they would, but also I do think if Celtic and Rangers got put into the English leagues, within 10 years,
They've got a bit of money behind him, yeah.
yeah, within 10 years, I think they'd be fighting for top 6 in Prem. Fighting for.
I mean, Celtic is a massive. It is a massive.
well,
club.
because they'd
It's a
sell out,
huge
they
club,
sell
yeah.
out
Yeah.
55, 60k seats every game already when they're playing like Kilmarnock.
Yeah.
Imagine the sponsors and stuff that they'd get if they were in the Premier League. Because it's not just like, I'm not just talking about shirt sales and stuff, but I think Celtic were in the top 10 in the world the other year. So it's like they have the money, but it's just because they're playing fuck all, they're never going to do well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've actually never looked at it from that point of view. Like, if you put them in, you know, the Premier League and all its riches, that it would change. But like you mentioned, like I think if you drop them in League Two and say, right, work your way up, it'd take a lot longer than people think. Yeah. Especially from Championship to Premier League.
You would be lucky to get up from League One for a little while, but because they'd have so much more revenue, they would do it. Because for FFP, they'd be able to just spend more.
I think League One's a bit harsh. I think League One's a bit harsh because, you know, they do not compete, but they're in Europe, and, you know, when they have to qualify, they qualify. And I don't think anyone I couldn't see like a Wickham beating some teams that they have to beat in qualifying. Yeah. But no, I completely agree with that. They won't blow it away. Like, they'd have to work for it.
Well, I suppose Rangers as well did get Altwaite at final, didn't they?
European.
Didn't they? Was it Europa League
Yeah,
or Conference?
a couple of years ago. Was it last
Lost
year?
on
Europa?
penalties. Yeah,
I think it was
you
Europa.
have done, yeah,
It won
yeah.
Europa League. It was season before last. They ended up, I think it was a German team that got beat by on penalties.
Oh, yeah, with Frankfurt. wasn't it?
Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Watched it, yeah, I remember.
Yeah. But I wouldn't see him doing anything in England, like literally ever, to be honest.
Kmart Reeve still play there?
I don't know. To be
Didn't play
honest.
today.
Didn't you know?
Sure.
A quick question on a Premier League player
There you
who.
go. Biscuit legs.
Oh no, not Anthony.
Not for a cameo.
But on £80 million signings, a man that at the start of the season everyone laughed at Arsenal for signing was Kai Havertz. So now this season he's had 9 goals and 5 assists in the league. Do you think that maybe he's starting to prove people wrong a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I've always rated him. I always think he's a very good player. Just, I don't know, at Chelsea, I mean, he scored the winner in the Champions League final, but they were still a bit of a mess, I suppose, moving forward after that. And I think he just needs to play in a settled team, and he is doing that now. So it doesn't surprise me that he's doing well, because I've always thought he's a good player.
I've always liked him, but he's one of those players where people go, yeah, it's all about what he does off the ball, and that's fine, but only if you watch a lot of football will you actually take that into consideration.
Yeah.
So everyone just looks at his stats, and I think because this year he's still been really good off the ball, but he's started to actually get some goals and assists, which means that everyone can go, oh, okay, then maybe he's not like 60 million, but he's actually doing well. Do you like him?
I don't mind him. I'm of the sort of like a bit traditional, not as in like Brexit football, but like if you're paying 60 million for a forward, you want your forward to chip in with goals. Like, you buy a forward for things that forward players do, but yeah, if it's in that like kind of bracket of like, not a Firmino as such, but like, you know, he does a lot of like good dog work off at ball, which goes underappreciated. So I don't dislike him, but I don't know, he's just a player that can kind of go under radar in a way, but not similar to Bamford in any way, shape or form. But you know how like Bamford gets slaughtered just purely on his goal contributions, but he does so much more off the ball, and you know, there's like a pool of players obviously around the world that, you know, have to do that.
Yeah, like you say, it goes under the radar, some of that kind of stuff, because people just purely look at the goals and assists quite a lot of the time if they don't fully watch the games. But players like him make a massive difference, even if they're not putting the ball in the back of the net. But at the end of the day, that's what you do kind of want them to do.
One thing that he has got going for him is, like you mentioned, like the 9 goals, 5 assists, whatever it is. Like, some of them are just like a massive, like a game-winning assist, game-winning goals as well. So he's chipping in like when it matters.
Yeah, and that's important because it'll, especially within the Arsenal fan base.
Oh
my God. Manchester United 2.
Oh, get him on the plane. Gareth, are you watching?
Oh, dear me.
Liverpool 1 with a Menu screamer.
I knew this would happen.
Oh, no way, man.
Knew it would happen.
Jeez, what a fucking
That was like
finish.
Makeda back in the day, that.
That was against Villa, that.
Yeah.
I don't know why that sticks in my mind.
I
'Cause
always
it's
remember that as well.
Sky Sports stuff, innit? Like,
Yeah.
Klopp
Oh,
is
dear.
absolutely losing his mind. Liverpool had a period of this game where they definitely could have scored a couple more goals and just didn't take advantage of those
It's like
opportunities.
the cup one, we've kind of given it to them again. We've had so many chances, but just the final ball again.
I want to see this
Unbelievable.
goal again, though. Like, look at that. To be able to get an overhead kick pass and then run down the centre for 30 yards is not great from Liverpool. No pressure there at all.
There's bodies all around him.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
That is just a fantastic finish there.
Great
from me.
finish was, but you just think
Simon, what are you thinking now? Do you
just
think
frustration. Just how is this? We let this happen again? It's just unbelievable.
I mean, there's still 20 minutes left, over 20 minutes,
Yeah,
so there's definitely a chance that Liverpool can do something still, but it's looking less and less likely with...
What does table look like now? Because everyone is on the same...
I think
There's no games in hand knocking about, is there?
No, so I think we're all us and City are on 70, and then Arsenal on
So
71.
Arsenal are a point clear as it stands.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it's like we were saying earlier, wasn't it? Like, I think the only thing that stops Liverpool winning league is if they drop points, which is obvious, but like it's because I just couldn't see them. Like,
I think that this game is, I mean, it still is so important because to lose against a rival like this when Manchester United have been really poor, obviously there's still enough time
that's
for
what
them
I
to
mean.
be able to
They're
do
not,
something.
They're not a good side as well, so it's really frustrating.
I told you, bro. It's moments FC. It literally
Yeah,
is. They don't
exactly,
play
yeah.
well, but moments in the
literally
game.
said that before kick off, didn't you?
I mean, like if they win, obviously Ten Hag will stay in his job, won't he, which will be good long run, kind of long term, won't it? But you just think,
But imagine they knock you out the cup and then throw you off the pedestal at the top of the league. I mean, this is probably the best thing they can do for the rest of this season.
well, it
isn't
is, yeah, it is. But
Well, winning the FA Cup would probably top it.
Yeah, true, but...
Man City is still in FA Cup, aren't they?
Yeah.
Play.
Yeah.
Is it Chelsea?
Oh, yeah. City,
yeah,
Chelsea.
yeah.
Chelsea.
Big-
Ain't it?
And
Oh, yeah, he's playing
Coventry, isn't
Coventry,
it? Yeah.
Man United will be praying for a Chelsea win, I imagine. They get past Coventry. I mean, I know they beat us yesterday, but I'd fucking love to see Coventry get to the final. That'd be jokes.
Have we had leg one at Champions League yet?
No,
it's
that's
this week.
Who have they drawn?
Real Madrid.
Madrid.
So it's Madrid. So Real Madrid, Man City, and Arsenal Munich are both on Tuesday at 8 o'clock.
Is it this Tuesday?
This Tuesday.
yeah.
Are we doing that?
Both at 8 o'clock.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I was busy this Tuesday and we picked to do the second leg instead.
I think second leg's a better one to do.
Yeah, second leg's definitely better because it means more, doesn't it? Like, you know exactly what needs to happen for each team to get through.
Yeah. It's the decider, isn't it?
Harvey Elliott and Gakpo came on for Liverpool, was it?
Yeah. Gomez is on as well.
Liverpool. The thing is, as well, it has been a match of Manchester United have actually defended quite well in terms of they've let Liverpool attack, but always had a body in the way of the shot, which is
Just
led
the final ball for Liverpool.
Yeah.
I've been impressed with that young centre half, honestly.
Yeah, I have.
He's had a
Yeah,
good
he's done
game.
really well.
What do you think? Obviously,
That's a
Klopp's
foul.
leaving at end of season. I think a lot of Liverpool's success might be controversial. Just comes on vibes.
I know what you
Just
mean. Yeah, well, he's a motive, and it's
vibe,
like,
you know.
yeah, it is. That's true.
Because like when you're making subs now and you're chasing game in a title decider essentially, you're bringing on Harvey Elliott.
But I mean, to be honest, the subs that Klopp has used this season, they've won us so many points this season.
Yeah,
so
but I'm trying to be polite about it anyway. But like basically, like I think the squad is a bit meh. Like like when the team comes out and you're like Endo, the first time watching properly, we got Carabao Cup final. Oh my god! But and he's been great since then. He's always stuck out to me. But like, you haven't got the squad like Arsenal and City, in my opinion. You know, like you look at City, you got De Bruyne guy. Haaland
well,
guy.
yeah, I suppose it's
I think
obviously.
you don't get in a way like you don't get enough credit for it. The fact that you
Oh no, we
haven't got
don't.
galactic.
Well, yeah, because the majority of
superstars.
all the players that Klopp has signed, he's improved them all. You know, he's
Yeah.
even
Yeah,
though like
yeah.
Salah was still good and Alisson and everything, but he's made them the world stars that they are today. So you can't really say we've bought a world class. Obviously Van Dijk, but was he that good before he came to Liverpool?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I completely agree with you, actually. I think Liverpool's squad has been made 10 times better by Klopp, but I think a lot of the players will continue to play at that level. Like, I don't think Robertson's going to get any worse when Klopp leaves. I think he's just at that level now because they've not got many who are shining through just this season. They've got players who have been doing well consistently now for a few years. So I don't see the drop-off being too big, depending on who you get as manager on that, Simon. Alonso's been ruled out.
yeah, which I think it was weird because everyone was thinking, yeah, he's nailed on the right fit, but apparently the sporting manager now, I think they won or nearly won the league last night. I think they beat Benfica, so they're like 4 or 5 points
they're all
clear.
both
Yeah,
champions now.
and I mean, I don't know that much about him, but the stuff I have read, he's similar to Klopp in terms of kind of like the gung-ho kind of football, but also developing players as well and stuff. So I think it's similar to Klopp, and you look at the players we have there now, it'll be good to kind of keep that kind of consistency in terms of that setup and stuff. But you just don't know, do you? Because we could just fall off a cliff, but
I think
you don't know. But
like if you look at Man United and their fall from grace after Ferguson left, I think the club's in a lot.
Oh,
the
yeah.
club
Oh,
and the players
yeah.
is in a lot of a better place.
miles better.
I mean, Ferguson obviously papered over cracks in the last couple of years at Man United, and you've seen it just completely capitulate after he left. So you're in a relatively good position still, but it's just you don't know. It's just weird. It's interesting.
You just don't know.
It's interesting though, because it makes it interesting watching us from a neutral perspective.
Oh yeah.
Seeing how it pans out for you.
Hoyland was nearly through them for Manchester United. If he can get a pass off to Bruno,
I didn't even see him. Where did he pop up from? I thought it was Bruno.
Garnacho 1-on-1 in the box, a shot straight at Kelleher. But since I'm going to clip you lot saying, oh no, but I don't see the game swinging, and me saying, oh no, but once they get a goal at Old Trafford, because from that goal,
I predicted a Man U win before game, bro.
I said 2-2 actually, so it's looking pretty likely. But
yeah, I've had a stinker there because I said it with chest as well. I said, no, I don't think it'll change pace.
I just fully agreed with you straight away as well. Fuck's sake.
We've got one last debate to go over, and it is FIFA announced their men's team world rankings for the international teams earlier in the week, the top 15. And I want to just quickly go over it and see if you boys think it's correct, because personally, I didn't agree with a lot of the shouts that were in there. So I've got it here. Argentina are up first, and I think you can agree with that. They just won the World Cup.
Won the World Cup, innit?
But then at the same time, I don't see Messi. Obviously, will he even make it to the next World Cup? Probably not. So when they've not got Messi anymore, that will have such a big impact on their squad. Are they still going to be first? Would they even be first now with Messi, who's playing in the MLS? Because Di Maria's starting to get on a little bit as well. He had a pretty good World Cup, but you could see even then that he couldn't keep up that level of pace for the whole game.
He's cracking on. There's a few of them cracking on.
So, I don't know, Argentina first. I'm not sure. They have to because they just won the World Cup.
Did they win what's their Virginity Euros?
Copa America, they won that.
They won that just before, so it's
So they won
equivalent of winning Euros and the World Cup.
So you can't argue with them being first.
But I just don't think at the next international tournament they'll make it to final.
No, well,
again.
there's Copa America this year as well.
Yeah.
And I think...
or maybe in the Copa America they might, but I meant World
this
Cup.
summer, yeah.
How is it?
Might slap a tenner on Uruguay, I'm telling you. I think they're 6-1 to win it, third favourites, I think.
Uruguay with Marcelo Bielsa.
That's what I mean with Bielsa at the helm. You never know. I'll be keeping a close eye on it, definitely. Backing the boy.
Yeah. Second in the FIFA Men's World Rankings is France. Do you think that's just?
Can't argue with that either. Like, I know you're going through it bit by bit, but I'd have France and then like the next one that you're going to get onto. I think that's wrong.
Yeah. So Belgium a third.
What have they done to warrant it, man?
They seem to have been third.
I still don't fully know how it works. It works on some sort of points criteria. You don't end like games and magnitude of games you've won and stuff, which it's not correct for me because one that like my toes are curling up and I want to throw a microphone further down the list.
But the thing is, Belgium had their heyday and didn't actually do much with it. So I don't know why they're that high. Fourth is England. I think we should be above Belgium.
Yeah,
I think that's. I don't know how they've done that. Fifth is Brazil. Sixth is Portugal. Seventh is Netherlands. Eighth is Spain. Ninth is Italy, and 10th is Croatia. To be honest,
Joe. It was in 11th.
We'll get onto that.
tell me 11th.
To be honest, I think from 5th to 10th, I can kind of live with. It's 11th is the one that is painful, and that is the US men's national team. Do we think, boys, that the US national team is the 11th best international squad in the world?
I don't think they're any better than Wales, and Wales are nowhere near it. I think they're 30th. You've got Germany outside top 15,
which is ridiculous of America.
No, to be honest, I do think Germany probably are outside the top 15, but they're still better than the US.
Yeah, exactly.
US are just always well coached, aren't they? Because it's that US kind of sport mentality of drilling set plays and coaching in it. So they always kind of.
Well, it's weird because the US aren't awful, but under them you've got Colombia, Morocco, Mexico, and Uruguay. I think any of them would beat the US.
Yeah, well, Morocco got to the semi-final at last World Cup, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Uruguay, obviously, they beat Brazil for the first time in a long time,
and
pretty
Argentina.
recently.
And same week, wasn't it?
Yeah, big ups to Marcelo Bielsa, the absolute boy. But I think that is pretty criminal. Is there any other changes you'd make?
I think other than looking at where it's all like Portugal, Netherlands, Spain, Italy, you could swap them. You could swap them around a little bit just based on like again, Netherlands, they drop down a bit. Like, they qualify for tournaments, but there's not really, apart from like when they got to World Cup final, there's being this massive drop off where you don't even like expect them to be anywhere like
the squad
near or thereabouts
it's
now.
It's all right. Like they've got a decent starting 11. Don't get me wrong, but it's like you mentioned earlier about not having Ajax players in, which is like literally like it's been like the backbone of their international team over the years, hasn't it?
Well, we said it when we was looking at those Euros groups that all of us wouldn't be surprised if Netherlands don't even make it out of the group stage. Like they should, based on the group they're in, but internationally they've not been amazingly good for a long time. So I do think that they should probably be probably below Spain, Italy, and Croatia.
Yeah.
Because
Croatia
have done more in more recent years in international tournaments, so I don't know how they can be below. I suppose their squad is like aged and there's a few players that have retired, etc. now, but Netherlands internationally never do that well, so I can't justify putting them in 7th. You're correct. And then Brazil, in the last tournament, Neymar had an absolute blinder for them. Oh.
They got knocked out by Croatia and didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But still, Neymar, Liverpool.
Go,
Salah.
No way.
2 good chances there for Liverpool. In the 78th, pretty much the 79th minute, Salah
ticking.
spoons it round the post. But yeah, Brazil were held up pretty much by Neymar, who probably isn't going to play at the next international tournament. And then when I look at the Brazil squad, I think they've got Vinicius Jr., but they're still starting Richarlison up top. I just don't like.
They're really struggling in their qualifying group thing or something, aren't they?
Are they?
I think they are. I don't know. Unless I don't, because the Copa America this summer. Did you say?
Yeah, so they'll already have the group set.
Or is it the World? Because they do a massive league thing, don't they, to qualify for the World Cup, don't they? So I'm sure they're like quite far down, like 6th or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, but.
I'll have a quick look because honestly, when you look at the Brazil squad, so Brazil's recent fixtures, to be fair, they drew with Spain, beat us, but then lost to Argentina and lost to Colombia, which is 2 pretty poor results for them. And then obviously we saw recently that they didn't make it past Uruguay.
This is for.
Oh yeah, this is for. Although in the next Copa America, their group is Colombia, Paraguay, and Costa Rica, so you'd expect them to make it out of that pretty easily.
Just been beat by Colombia, you never know.
Yeah, true. But apart from that, there's not really much else on there that angers me too much. Is there up for you, Ellis?
England not in number 1 pisses me off.
Yeah, well, I know. I mean, that is angering, but
no bias at all.
we shouldn't be right now, should we?
No, well, we will be after Euros.
Like I mentioned, you could easily swap Holland for Spain and Italy and potentially Croatia. It's just the USA one for me. Who's in, and that's not just based on recent affiliations. It's just like, there's never really any. They hype it up massively. There's never any expectancy on them to win World Cup or compete. It's like, I don't understand what they've done to warrant being there.
What's their equivalent? Because they don't play in the Copa America, is it? Because the South American teams.
Yeah, I don't know what their equivalent is.
Playing the same one as like Jamaica and stuff like that.
Oh, is it?
What?
But Jamaica were in the Copa America when I just looked at that you had up. Yeah.
Let me get it up. I'll have a quick look.
Because look, Jamaica are in that group there. Oh,
USA?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, yeah, well, let's see how they're doing
Is
the
it
Copa
Copa
America
America?
then. Yeah.
So they're in the same group as
There
Uruguay.
is Uruguay, Panama, and Bolivia are in the USA's group. So
Come on, Uruguay.
Come on, Uruguay.
Please, come on, Uruguay.
Although they could get past Panama and Bolivia, really, couldn't they?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think that the US men's national team, USM, is it just USMT? Is it not USMNT?
It's USA.
Oh, yeah.
MNT. Yeah.
USMNT fans on Twitter are some of the most irritating people I've ever come across in my entire life.
Don't know
They don't understand that sport stems outside America, and that's genuine. Like, it's a massive downfall for them. Like, things like they've done polls and stuff of like the 10 best athletes of all time, and they've got like
referee,
God,
that's a penalty. That's
Liverpool
a
penalty.
McAllister has to take this, not
I'll
Salah.
shut my mouth.
Liverpool penalty, boys. I don't know if this was when I first saw it.
Shut up. No,
Have a quick look. Oh, yeah, it is. I thought he kicked the ball away, but it wasn't. Yeah, this is 110% a penalty.
I'm having a stinker here.
You're
going to title
I don't know, actually.
He does kick his leg on purpose.
I don't know. I mean,
he would have stepped over him. I think it'll stay because it's not a clear and obvious error, but it's
I think the fact
like,
he's like dived in, he's kind of given him the option, hasn't he? But
yeah, it was poor from Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
That 2 howls from me now. I mentioned, you're in a title side and you're bringing on Harvey Elliott. and then he's
He's,
just
he's
going
been,
and
to
won
be
a
honest,
penalty.
Elliot, he's been brilliant this season. He really has. Are they going to VAR? Is that what they're doing?
No, I think they're just waiting to take it. It's not a clear and obvious error, is it? Because he does go in and...
Oh, why is Salah taking it? Why is not McAllister taking it?
You're not backing him?
He's not. I don't know. He just doesn't fill me with confidence penalty wise.
Salah with the
So he's
penalty.
missed
Four
four
of
of
his
it.
last
That's what I
three.
mean. He just doesn't penalty wise. It's like
Simon.
Michael Owen. You can never back him on a penalty.
You got to cut to Simon right now. Salah's stepping up.
God, he looks like he's.
Scouse
Scouse
I've
is in
ever
there.
seen in my life.
Scouse is into way end.
Hey up.
This is such a big penalty for Liverpool.
Oh God!
dear.
See, it's just this. It just doesn't help.
Salah simply has to score this, really.
Yes,
This is massive. This could be
It's
season
huge.
defining.
Yeah, it's huge. His run-up's too narrow as well.
Look at him, it's proper square on, isn't it?
And do a little shimmy
Salah.
tip, right? Yeah.
For Liverpool,
I
Calm
told
as
you,
you like.
100%.
Still time here, no?
it's 2-2.
Oh,
Just over 7 minutes left. There'll be some added time as well, I'm
yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah, there'll be a good 5 or 6.
Past 2 games of these have been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, this has been a belting game.
like usually they get overhyped in media and
Oh,
then they're
God,
just
yeah,
a bit
yeah,
dull,
yeah.
aren't they? But
Yeah.
past 2 have been brilliant.
You know, every Man United fan now is going to be crying like a child saying it wasn't a penalty because that's just what they do.
He's saying
Lots of tears in London.
You're like-
Yep, see ya.
Oh.
You know, it's funny as well. I forgot to change my fantasy this week and had Salah as my captain and thought, oh, fucked it. But although I did triple captain Salah against Sheffield United and he did nothing, I got 3 points.
I captained Foden this week, yeah, and he
Oh, you
was
didn't?
on. It was on bench after scoring a hat trick. I'm just
Oh,
Who's your vice captain?
Odegaard, and he didn't do
He
anything.
didn't do anything, did he? Oh,
Not ideal.
Are you nerves?
So Mohamed Salah,
better, but still feel. I just hate these games so much.
it's just so big in everywhere.
Yeah.
A stat just popped up then, and Salah has now scored more goals against Manchester United than any other player in history.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
pretty wild.
You're just making up awards now.
Oh, Mason Mount.
What, it's a mad team to have that against.
It is
Oh,
like
yeah,
your greatest
especially,
rivals.
like,
yeah.
Because he's only played for Liverpool in the Premier League, hasn't he? Did he have a couple of appearances for Chelsea? But
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure
I
if
don't
he
think
played
scored.
against
Liverpool on the edge of the box with Robertson. Doesn't get it past. Robertson's crossing this game
Yeah,
has
it's
been
been
pretty poor.
Especially after that one midweek, mate. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Absolute state of that
Give
delivery.
it-
Oh.
This has been one of the best games of football I've watched in a minute. You know, it's been really entertaining
What
throughout.
about fucking Man United Chelsea the other night was full of
that was
entertainment.
yeah,
wasn't it?
insane, wasn't it?
That was box office, mate. No tactics, just hit each other. Just go for it.
Crazy, wasn't it?
Well, Cole Palmer's had a absolutely
Oh,
blinding
young player
season,
too,
hasn't he?
Yeah.
I know he's been on a lot of penalties, but if you were him, if you were Palmer, would you look to push a move away from Chelsea in the summer already?
that soon.
Well,
He's
it's a
main man
question.
there. He's probably enjoying life because I know Chelsea aren't doing that well, but you'd hope you'd hope they can try to push on next
He'll
season.
stay there. As long
That's
as
the
he
thing.
can,
Like
I think.
with how I want to say reckless, it's just been carnage. Like the amount of players have brought in. Like you want it. Well, I don't hope as a Leeds fan, but like if you're a Chelsea fan, you kind of hope there's going to be a better structure around who they bring in, and he's got to know like he's one of first names on team sheet. Like
That's
he
what I
has
mean,
been
yeah.
unbelievable.
He's the main man, and he'll probably like that after being at City, struggling to get in. I mean, he played well when he got his chance, but he's gone to Chelsea and he's now the main man.
He's done well for him because he could have just stayed at City and just played in
Easily.
the League Cup or
Just rotted away
Yeah.
slowly.
But fair play to him, he's made that jump, and he.
I like to see that young English talent. Do you know what I mean?
Pause.
Future stars.
But nah, I completely agree. I think it's good as well because he'll be in the England squad. He'll be full of confidence. He's a leader at one of the biggest clubs in the country. But the reason I ask is just because if you are that good, and let's say, I don't think he'd move to another club in England, but if a Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, someone came knocking, you might think, right, I'm this good now. This is my chance because Chelsea aren't going to be top
Yeah,
four
it's
next
like how
season
long
again,
do you
are
want to stay there? Like
Yeah,
if you're not winning.
and I get it's pretty soon, but I just think Chelsea at the minute, it doesn't seem like a good place to be. And when you're that good, and there's probably going to be teams after you already, would you not consider it? Because I certainly would.
But no, like he don't really owe anything to Chelsea, does he? Like
No,
Not
there's
really.
nothing really keeping him there.
he's a City boy at heart. So
He's a Man United fan, isn't he?
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So there you go. You
Right.
wouldn't want to go there either, would you? Because that's just jump into a similar situation. What's going on with Chelsea? I mean, maybe slightly better off in terms of position in the league, but there's just no real structure there, is there?
Grabbing in there, bloody hell.
How's that not a foul?
How is that not a foul? Come on, yeah, Harry.
Slobhead.
Maguire, you can't be arguing with somebody.
How
with
was that not a free
trim,
kick though? He was literally just holding on to him with both hands.
It's a shocking trim, bro. He gets paid bare as well.
Maguire. To be honest, I don't think there's much else he could do, is there?
Yeah, well, his barber's not called Jesus. You know.
So we've got just over 3 minutes left in this. I'm hoping
Bit of
there's a
added
winner
time.
for Liverpool here. Yeah, there should be a little bit of added time, but there's not been a load of injuries. It's actually not been Salah's best game, has
Again,
it?
he's been poor again. I know, but he still gets the goals. That's the thing.
There you go. Got to score the penalty.
Yeah, like, you can't hate on him, but he
No.
hasn't been great.
Oh, good turn.
Oh, he
had
just had to
play it,
get
had
that
to
pass
play
off then, didn't he?
Oh,
Amrabat brought down
Jones.
in the centre circle.
Forget he's at Man United. Fucking hell.
Yeah, he was
Sounds weird, doesn't it?
He's not right at all.
after the World Cup. He was touted as one of the best centre mids, wasn't he? Really, everyone was like, whoever gets him's lucky. Didn't Liverpool look at him? At one
I think
point
we
as well?
were interested, but I just
The market's always just strange after a major tournament.
Didn't actually get touched at all. He would have done, I suppose, but it wasn't actually near him. Curtis Jones,
good to have him back.
underrated.
Very much so.
We did that. We did most overrated the other week. I think on the next episode we'll do most underrated Premier League players. Liverpool with a big clearance.
Who fits?
Yeah.
Mason Mount still looks weird seeing him in Man United top.
Gakpo's done really well there.
One
Javier Diaz
more,
put it through.
Square it.
Salah loses the ball. To be fair, there wasn't
Bruno.
much else he could have done there. Yeah, Man United, as much as they had that period after they scored where they was on top, but for 60 minutes of the game, it's been Liverpool. But Manchester United have defended very well throughout, to be honest.
Some last-ditch stuff. I mean, it was frustrating from their standpoint to concede another penalty.
Oh, yeah,
Just
definitely.
stupid, isn't it?
Especially the last couple of minutes of a game.
That's
It's
3 penalties conceded in 2 games now.
clearly panic mode, isn't it? Oh, Simon.
Yeah.
Fear.
Yeah, I don't know. Just part of me says take the draw now because Man United will probably counter, but we have to win. We have to win.
Or is Arsenal's goal difference better?
Their goal difference is like
Yeah, to be fair.
8 better or something.
Since the turn of the year, they've just been scoring goals for fun, haven't they?
Liverpool.
Oh,
Can't
spilled
help
it.
feel as a goal in this.
Yeah,
Look at that
it's
for a
got to be.
clearance. That's ridiculous.
Liverpool
mate.
put it in the box, and it's another corner for
Come
Liverpool.
on.
Bruno Fernandes, back guy defending for Manchester United. We're about to hit the 90th minute.
Got
Let's
at least
see.
6, I reckon.
7
Oh.
minutes added on.
Tasty.
Can Liverpool get a goal here?
Steve McLaren, 2 minutes, lads, 2 minutes.
Can Andy Robertson actually beat the first man from this corner? Because there's a lot of big players in there.
Reeks of a Van Dijk header this, man.
Yeah, it does. Van Dijk header at Old Trafford.
If it beats first man, that is, yeah. Like you said.
Liverpool about to put it in.
There you go.
He does.
Oh, he's there.
How was it missed everyone?
And it's a Manchester United free kick for it looks like a foul on the fridge.
Unplugged it.
In the fridge, you know.
The fridge. Bayern Munich fumbled a 2-0 lead yesterday.
Yeah, don't, because Miaka, mate. Why? I don't even know why I
We're
put him
2-0
on.
at half time as well.
Yeah.
Sure about that, yeah.
Yeah. So Bayern Munich this season, I mean, obviously Tuchel's already announced that he's leaving at the end of the year. So, I mean, there's no point firing him now anyway, is there? But Harry Kane is really a curse, isn't he?
There's no, you can't deny it really. You've just got to go with the evidence.
White-
You can't win a
White
league
Tottenham.
title 10 years in a row and then, I'll go win a trophy at Bayern. No, you won't.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's just
Mad.
I mean, they could win,
Yes.
I think Champions League out the but
I highly doubt they're going to do out
Yeah.
there. I would be very surprised if they make it past Arsenal, to be honest. I think Arsenal might absolutely smoke them because,
Yeah, I think Arsenal beat them.
yeah. But that means that Leverkusen are 1 win off winning the Bundesliga.
is that all it is?
Yeah, if they win the next game, they win the league.
No
still
matter what
undefeated as well.
Bayern do.
Yeah.
Wow.
So at this stage in the season, you would never have predicted this at the start of the year. And I think there has to be some serious calls for Alonso to be the best manager in the world this year.
Well, this year, if they go,
Yeah, no, like
undefeated
this
all
season. If you were saying this season, they've gone, even if they lost the next match, they've gone undefeated for 80% of the season in all
I don't
competitions.
even think they will lose in
Well,
the league.
I
now.
think it's in 40s, isn't it? The amount of games that they've gone unbeaten.
Yeah.
Because they're in
Mental.
the they're in the final of the cup, aren't they? Or,
Yeah.
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 German Cup.
Yeah. And there's 4 games left in the
I think
Bundesliga
I'm
or
sure
something?
it's like a Division 2 team they're playing in final.
Yeah, it is, I think. Or maybe the Division 2 team might have gone out.
Oh, referee.
Is that Fernandez?
No, it's Mount, that.
Oh, I'm going to say.
It's a poor challenge from Mount. Obviously, he gets
Sort
cooked.
of Fernandez challenge you expect to see.
It's actually a smart challenge from
Well,
Mount.
yeah, he had to
but-
do it, yeah.
That's what they call it now, yeah.
Yeah.
Used
Yeah.
to call it dirty summer.
No, it's a tactical masterclass.
And it's actually looking like Bayern Munich at the minute are currently even on points with Stuttgart in third. So if they carry on with this form, they
Might
might
not
even
even finish
yeah,
second.
they might finish third in the Bundesliga, which would be absolutely unbelievable given, as you said, they won practically 10. Was it 10 in a row before this?
10,
Did they
I think.
actually
Yeah.
hit 10?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was 9. But what a fall off. If they don't do anything in the Champions League, I think this season could have a massive impact on them in terms of how many players will stay.
They'll have a big clear out, I think, if they don't do anything.
Because it's not just like they've just missed out on it. They've been really poor. So I think because there's a lot of fan ownership.
Oh, no.
Diaz,
Fucking skylight.
he was stretching though, wasn't he? But
Yeah.
Diaz with a
That's
volley
good
from
chance,
about
innit? I know
4
it's-
yards out.
Wow, still 4 minutes, but that's a chance.
Amrabat and Anthony ready to throw hands.
Battle of mid.
He's so angry, him.
Yeah. Anthony's so fucking annoying. He's got such an attitude for someone that's so shit.
And, so what's You bang on to it there.
No, it's true though, isn't it? He's there fucking yapping away half the time and he's shite. How is he complaining?
do it? Oh, bloody
Oh, he's
hell.
pathetic, man. He actually is.
I always think, you know, when you see players do stuff like that, like, ain't you got mates in a group chat where, like, you finish the game and they're going, what are you doing, throwing yourself
to
all
go
over the
home to
floor?
your wife and family. It's
Yeah.
like, do you have a good game today, Dad? Yeah, it was great.
What happened to
It's
Shane?
like, yeah, it's embarrassing.
I don't think Anthony will be going home to any wife. He'll be going home to film season 2 of Ratatouille.
Oh, my God. Yeah, to be fair, probably single.
That don't even make sense, does it, as a
No,
film?
we'll move on.
Quickly, what's next? You know, you know it's bad when even Tim's laughing in corner.
Oh, no, here they come.
Manchester United on the attack though, with the rat bag himself.
There it is. That'd have been quite something, wouldn't it?
Oh, not readable, that.
Good defending though to be there and intercept it.
Don't go that way. Oh, God.
What the fuck?
Oh, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes left. Can Liverpool forge another opportunity out of nothing?
Sense it, like, when that happy over point here.
Yeah.
Trying to
Need
get
to
forward.
win this.
You can see half the Manchester United seats are bare.
I know.
Long way back to London on a Sunday.
Yeah, they've got to get last train back. Or maybe they're not
Who
actually.
leaves
maybe
at 2-2 in 95th minute?
It's disgraceful, isn't it?
Honestly.
Liverpool with a big ball forward, but Maguire's
Slabhead.
had a pretty good year this year, hasn't he?
He's been,
I don't
he's
like
actually
him, but-
playing. So that's something. He's playing.
Who's that? Cameron? Yeah. Oh, poor ball.
Season 2, you know. As if it want a film.
I just couldn't quite work it out in my head. Don't worry, I'm used to this stuff now anyway. I say dumb shit all the time.
Happy days.
Just over a minute left.
Ooh.
Liverpool with some scary moves.
Slabhead. Safety first,
Yeah,
mate.
look, everyone's just pinging it now out there. I don't even know if there'll be another chance yet.
Get that man a fucking fade.
That man a fucking third. I actually think it'd make him look worse, mate, for some reason.
No, he looked like a certified
tackle again,
scoundrel, wouldn't
I think if Maguire got a fade, he'd look like a scouser.
he? Here we go.
Manchester United. Anthony's through. Oh, pretty rubbish shot, as you would expect.
Glad he didn't score.
He's too busy thinking about season 2.
Get it up the pitch.
Oh. Hello.
Doors all there.
Man United again. 40 seconds left. Amrabat
No
running
in
down the
fucking
wing.
box, innit?
No, Amrabat.
Oh.
Oh, he's kept that in.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that
Go on,
was
lad.
Go on.
Yeah.
This is what Louis does.
Liverpool are through.
But when he gets there, he's just knackered and he can't do anything.
Nothing left in the legs.
Oh, Diaz gets crunched outside the box.
Swinger.
Wow.
Glancing header now.
This is going to be the last action of the game.
I think so.
Casemiro picking up a booking.
Yeah, shock. Banker, mate.
Diaz did really well there to
Yeah,
keep
that's,
that in.
that's what he's good at.
Whoa, that is a bad tackle, to be fair.
He's a thug, innit? I swear to
Yeah.
God. If he won a footballer, he'd beat Cartel,
He'd be in
definitely.
favelas.
He actually would be. It's like something you see on Narcos, mate.
Never seen someone with eye fat before.
It looks like
He just looks like he's piled it on, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's like an allergic reaction to something. He got stung by a couple of bees.
Oh, yeah.
Good delivery, yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be the last thing that happens in it. Liverpool with a free kick on the edge of the box at Old Trafford.
It's a good ball.
Decent delivery. Harvey Elliott. Oh, straight at Onana. Super Noodles 101.
Did you say 2-2?
Yep.
Yeah, he did.
Thank you. I should have put a bet on, but you know, it was too late for that one. Simon, what do you think of that game overall, mate?
Disappointed because we should be beating Man United. But I kind of knew that's the way the game would have gone, and you knew United would have got their chances. But that first goal they scored, that was just a freak of a goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The back pass. So,
And I mean, even the second goal was just an amazing finish.
Yeah.
From
but we had so many chances still, and we just didn't put them away. So it's definitely 2 points dropped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely.
That changes everything
Yeah.
for like top 3 prediction. Like,
Just blow it open a bit more.
yeah,
doesn't it?
I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna wipe them away. To be fair, but
Like you say, anything can happen in these games.
True. Still a lot to play, a lot of games to play, and
There's plenty more twists in the tail,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not always just straightforward, everybody picking up points every
like,
week.
you might be allowed to drop a point. Like
Yeah, you
City
never
have got
know.
to play Chelsea and Tottenham. Arsenal have as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a scary end to the season for every team that's fighting to win the league. But boys, thanks for coming down.
lovely.
We'll be back again for another one of these big games, I'm sure, because this month for football and the start of next month is absolutely crazy.
Crunch
So
time, isn't it?
we're going to try to do some Champions League fixtures as well. But thank you very much.